Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Scuffed podcast with Meme FM. Joining me. Oh fuck! I forgot to do the Neo Exit bit. Right. Hello.
I laughed when you started anyway.
It's funnier that way. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Scuffed podcast. We're here to tell you about how bad Neo Exit is and how bad you are at deck building. Joining me today, all the way from London, we have Tush Tsendjav.
Hey guys.
From Wales, we have Jenny Ridout.
Hello.
I'm very sorry to hear you're from Wales.
No.
And as per usual, in between all three of us, we have Graeme Pentelow from the north.
Holla.
If you don't know me, I'm Michael from the YYT or Scotland. Take your pick. And
No one knows
today
you,
we're going to
mate.
be doing. No one knows me. No one's heard of me. Today we're going to be talking about. We're doing a set review because who isn't doing a set review nowadays? I think my grand's in the middle of doing one, so you know. We're going to do the whole set, but we're going to be doing it slightly different from other people. We're going to do 2 ratings, each out of 10. So every card's rated at 20. So the first rating is how good we think this card is. That's what your usual set reviews are going to be based on, like how good it is, how much it's going to see play, or how good it is in a specific deck. And then the second rating that says, with the Meme FM, we're not looking for the best cards. We're looking for the sickest cards. The cards that it hits the field and you and your opponent go, oh. So we're going to be rating the cards out of 10 for how sick they are as well. So I figure we're keen to sort of start off now.
I mean, you are. I'm.
Yeah, well, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. You guys are sat quietly,
I mean-
somewhat scared.
Wait, I've got to leave you to do your intro because I don't think you're gonna get another word in. I'm just gonna say that now.
It's out of breath now.
I'm tired. I'm gonna have another drink. Oh yeah, by the way, we swear and we drink, so this isn't safe for kids. It says that in the description, but you know.
Yes, viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, especially since Tush is here. And honestly, you should just be discreet. You know.
Whoa.
What discretion has to be advised around him.
I like to
He's
think
almost
of
been
myself
banned
as a
twice,
discreet
you know.
person. Thank you very much. Alright, shall we get on with it?
Yeah. So
Yeah, let's
we'll
go.
start off with ages, because we spent ages getting here.
Oh god.
Get out! Get out! Oh, you gone.
Pre-recording, we sat staring at this card for like 20
Oh,
minutes.
gosh,
So
alright.
now I don't like it on principle.
I'm sick of that hair. I've been looking at that hair for 30 minutes.
It's such a
Oh, good,
scuffed
I want
cut,
that
man.
hair.
Like, what's going on?
What's
What's going on?
And
And then, like,
podcast, you know?
he's got like sideburns down to his chin and no beard. What is that? I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me, man. It makes no sense. Anyway,
No.
man. Okay.
Are you good?
Are you
What
okay,
happened?
Graeme?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You
no,
died?
it
Yeah, you go.
disconnected me from Discord and then threw me back in after having.
Oh, nice.
stopped
All
myself.
right. Yeah, we were kind of waiting on you speaking, and then you died and came
Yeah.
back. We're like, oh, he's gonna
Yeah,
speak,
no,
and then
it does it every now and again. So yeah, no, I'm just
we're
looking at his
leaving that in.
sideburn
We're
here,
leaving
right?
that in. Let's scuff.
Ah, man. I'm just looking at his scuffed ass sideburns, man. What's that?
Got a
What
little
does that
fuzzy
say for the
face.
quality of his cards?
I mean, you know what? If you're doing Warrior Elite stuff, you might want to play him. You might not. He's probably a little bit better than the previous Aegis. But
Yeah, I'd say
Brave's
so.
nice. Party
What cards do
attacking
you
is
even
less
play?
important at this moment in time.
Yeah, I find it kind of hard to judge this card just because you got to judge him on the Warrior Light deck only, right?
Yeah, he's not playable.
He's
Yeah.
only going to be in that particular deck, and even then, I don't think he's that super amazing. He's not, over the limit. It's not like 10k or anything. It's 5 and a 9k.
Plus,
Yeah.
like the thing with the Warrior Light deck, from when I've seen it played, is it can be quite hard to get a bunch of backups out to make your plays. So having him even cost, having your cards even cost for everything except your really big stuff can be really helpful. Because you're not hitting 4 or 5 backups. You're generally stuck on 2 or 3 for a long time at the very least. And this is the
Not a
type of
good
thing where
enough
you want to be
deck,
playing
then.
early. It might change. We don't know. Either way, I don't think I'm giving this much more than a 4.
Yeah, I'll
Ben.
probably give you a 4.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 5. I think,
That's fine,
Alright,
that's fine.
you're kind.
I'm not, well, it's just because you can kind of guarantee the combo by playing the backup, especially 2 Warrior Lights. So one of them being this, and then the Warrior Light to go with this card.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
That's
it
fair.
kind of
That's
sets up the turn
definitely
one
fairest
to
as
turn
well, I
two,
suppose.
But then again, it's not particularly strong, so that's why I can't really give it anything higher.
Yeah.
5 mana
How
nine.
sick do we think it is? Is this a boring
I mean,
card or is
there's
it?
not-
Yeah, it's making me sick.
It's yeah, it's dull. It's really dull card. It's very very vanilla. It's just
It's not like you can
job
slam
and stuff.
some ridiculous warrior of light off of it and go, right, well, I won the game because I assembled this
Yeah.
Aegis that lets me party attack with this wall.
I suppose we haven't really given like a basis for our rating system, so we haven't really described what a sick card would look like and what a non-sick one would look like. I realised as we've already started rating a card, we got to this point. Right, what do we think is a sick card?
Well, sick card is a card you can play in like your standard deck, but also allows for like these memes that just kind of transcend deck building. That's what you officially class a sick card.
The best example of a sick card I can come up with off the top of my head is 6-cost Agrius, because you can do whatever you want with that card in whatever element you want, as long as your deck has a bunch of 4-costs in it, not many 3s. I think that's the best example I can come up with.
Yeah, I would agree with that there. I think that like Opus 11 example, probably 5-drop Realm is this one of the sickest cards that came out.
It's a
just
sick
because
that card.
yeah, it's really sick. Yeah,
man.
How did I hear?
I could talk for hours about the random crap we've done
Yeah,
with that
yeah.
card, man.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, we've done so much with that card. Yeah, so
I think the only element I've not played it in is water.
actually, that's same.
Oh, gosh. Right.
No water cards got printed last set. That's what happened.
All right, yeah.
All right, yeah. Let's
I
move
think we're
on.
done
We've
with
been
this card,
staring
yeah.
at ages. Yeah, we're done with this.
I don't wanna say
It's
any
not
more,
sick. I'm not giving it a number. It's just not sick.
No, it's
Right.
not sick.
On to something that, I mean, it looks pretty sick at the very least, and that's Amaterasu.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm playing a fire deck, I'm probably going to have one in. Might even have two in. I don't know yet. I'd have to see how the numbers feel, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about it?
I think it's really good. I feel like there's so many things it can just delete.
What are the main ones you're thinking of?
Oh god, don't put me on the spot.
Marsh Ritz.
Congratulations.
I suppose.
Yeah, Marsh Ritz is
That-
a big one.
Yeah, the fact that
Yes.
the counter for that, you've got 2 counters for Martial Rights now, and they're both fire window. That's a bit weird.
So-
Yeah.
Sulphaeus, the new Fire Ice legend that we'll get to later. It's another card that is extremely impactful that gets stopped by this. I feel like this is going to have a big impact on how you end up building your decks.
See, it cancels Thancred as well and kills that, and that's a big like play in Water Lightning decks, which aren't all that strong and are probably going to struggle against fire anyway. So this is a good seal and the last nail in the coffin for that kind of matchup.
I think Water Lightning Knights is going to be good. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
gonna
the
be
biggest
probably
strength
gonna
of
be
this
good.
card is actually just the fact it exists. So you have
Yep.
to just think about this card when you're
Yeah.
playing against fire.
Yep. Yep.
My
Yes.
thoughts on it are though, it's an odd costed card, which means it's harder to time than if it was even costed. Like, see, if it was 4
Well, I mean, you say
or
that, but
two drop.
you Marsh Ritz, you attack, you can just float 3 mana and then pass, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
The
I
other
didn't
thing
even
is,
think of
for
it,
stuff like Neo X Death, BFA, you ping it, the trigger goes on the stack to kill your guy, you respond with this, kill the guy. It's,
Yeah.
You get,
Yeah, fair
you
enough.
manage,
It's
it's an
still-
easy way to kill BFA and Neo X Death for, pretty, not that much effort.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna give this a 7, maybe an 8.
Playability,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
In terms-
playability. So I'm gonna give it 7. I'm gonna give it 7.
In
Like a high
terms of how
7.
sick it is, I think this card's
Oh.
fucking boring.
It's really dull, but
I
I
feel like
think
it's
it gets
going to have
points
some
by the
meme
fact.
moments.
Thing is, it earns points
Yeah.
by cancelling really boring cards. So that makes it inherently at least a little bit sick.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it'll
I'm
be
going to
like
give it a
a
really
really
high
good
score
moment,
because I can't stand being Sephiroth, and this stops Sephiroth
it does.
and kills
Oh
Sephiroth.
yeah.
It also
Yeah.
cancels the
I would,
most
I would
boring
rather
card in the
discard
game.
3 cards and kill Sephiroth than get Sephiroth.
It also does not cancel the most boring card in the game is my issue, and that's Kadaj.
Yeah.
Can't do it,
It
Kadaj,
doesn't. But yeah, so I'm probably I'm gonna give it a 5 and sick score. I think. Like
I'm
it's
telling you,
not
there's
it's
gonna
not
be
entirely
a really
dull.
funny moment at a tournament where I
Yeah.
play this to cancel the game-winning auto ability, and you're all gonna regret what you said about this card.
Your opponent sat there with no they play Dragoons, they draw 2 cards, and their Alice trigger goes in the stack, and you're like, nah, mate, And then
I'm
I think
gonna
we've all
cancel
seen how
cancel
good
Rit's
cancelling auto
activation
ability is.
cancel,
and kill it.
cancel the activation of Fritz. Yeah, let's go.
And kill it. That's good.
Yeah,
I think it's really good.
it is. All right.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. All right. You've convinced me up to like a 4 or so. I'll
take
give you
it.
that. I'll give you that.
I'll take
I'll
it.
give you that. All right.
Nice.
Shall we move on then?
Yes, it's been like 20 minutes and we're at card number 3.
Oh God, this is going to be a long, long podcast.
We'll skip
Lord.
ahead of the really boring ones. Like, see if a card's like just vanilla and it's not all that great then.
You mean like this card?
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of vanilla, not all
This-
that great.
This is a card that is relevant simply because it has the line search for one card named Alphino, and the other Alphino, and the Alphino that's next might not be great, but it's pretty sick.
It's pretty sick. I have to say, it's pretty sick.
To the
It is
point.
sick, it is sick. It's got Thordan text, and I'm keen for that.
We love a bit of Thordan text, so I'm just.
It
Gonna
doesn't have
skip-
EX though.
I'm skipping this one and moving straight onto that one.
Yeah, let's just move on to the
I'd
more
rather
interesting
talk.
card. Yeah.
All right.
So, Alphino, Thordan text on a forward. Fairly good. Fairly good.
Thordan text on a recurable forward.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
return, there's some funny ways to bring this back, right?
Oh,
Or
Yeah,
play it from
yeah,
your hand,
definitely.
including from Opus 12. But there's some stuff from previous sets. I think the main one, I know people have been saying Phoenix, but I haven't actually seen Phoenix played last set that much, so I'm not sure how viable that is,
I
to be
tried
honest.
a lot, and
Yeah.
it were really slow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite slow for this format that we're in now. So I'm actually thinking
Azorenga
more of
worldwide.
the Zande that brings 3 drops and 1 drops back. I think it's a huge
Yeah, oh, that's
target
so.
for that
That's
card.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, definitely.
That,
Yeah,
that
Zandy's
sounds,
really good.
There's more one-drop choices from now as well, so yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah,
stuck
yeah, we
bringing
don't
back
have many good
Nagi
options.
hoping that a 1-drop 7k walls your opponent's board.
Hmm.
We didn't have many good options for Zandy before, because I think Tush, me and you both ran Fire Water Zandy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
like round
tried
Opus
that, and there
10.
wasn't that many good targets.
There was Lease and there was the Ranger standard unit. That was
And sometimes the
haste.
VV.
Well, but then you
Yeah,
used
but then you
one
can't play the
drop
1 drop.
VV.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we ran Water Fire for it, so
Mhm.
it was, yeah. So this is good. I like that. It's a good Zandy target because I'm good discarding it for CP, and then like, hey, I get
Yeah.
to play forward and Thordan. That's good. That's good. So I think
I feel
it's
like the fact you just said it was a good Sunday target automatically makes it like at least an 8 on the meme ability.
yeah.
Thickness scale.
Because Zandy's memeable. Zandy's big meme.
Yeah. This is more of a sick card than a good card.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 5 in terms of like strength. I think because it's just a vanilla 7k once it hits the board, and like
That's-
7k is not a threatening power level.
Yeah, it's one of those cards you want to combo with. You don't want to be top decking this.
Yeah,
I'd-
definitely.
I'd still give it a 6, just because more than anything else, it's also got a relevant job. So it's searchable off the LSA we've just seen. It's searchable off Inferior EX. There's the other LSA backup that can potentially give it haste if you really want to go deep. It's got enough relevance to it, apart from just its ability, that I think it can probably get the extra point from me.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. I'll take that. How sick is it? I'm probably gonna give it an 8 in the 6 scale because it combos with Zandy, and it's a sick card. It's not a good
Yeah.
card.
I'll give it an 8 for sick.
I'd like to point out that if you Renoa this, by the way, you get the trigger.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so you do.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is true.
Oh yeah.
So-
There's lots of ways. It's very generous in how it triggers, which is good.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
makes it sick.
So yeah, I think I might. I don't think I can stretch to a 9. I think 8's about right. Yeah, I can go with it.
It's right.
If
Jenny,
you're stretching, you
think-
can top of this back.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick. That's gonna be good.
Oh. Right, let's move on. We're going to spend the entire night thinking about different ways to use Alpha now.
Alright.
Yeah.
But then I've got to look at this.
Can we
hit
just
for it, and I
skip
just want
this
to move
one?
on
It's
again.
got EX burst.
I would
It's
like to skip that
EX burst. It's all right. Bye bye.
Oh, and then we've got
Wait,
Oh
Don't
god,
take it
this
away.
one's also bad. Just get away from this.
Oh lord.
Black
It's category 9, and that's all that matters about it.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'd rather play Ozma than play this card.
I don't really understand these monsters.
I-
Like all the monsters that like you can either do like make it a forward or break
It's-
it, do something.
It's for draft stuff,
It's-
which would make sense as an idea, but then you see there's the snow litter in the set, and it's like, well, what? I don't think you're thinking about draft at all.
Hmm.
But anyway,
Weird.
let's not look at that card anymore, or that one. All right. Okay, Princess Goblin. That's a relevant card. We can talk
That's
about
an
this.
interesting
Yeah.
card. That has text.
It's not a 1 on both scales.
Yeah. It's a fire backup that's searchable off of EX. That's like unheard of.
I didn't even know you could search fire backups, to be honest. I thought that was reserved for
Guys,
other
you're not allowed
elements.
to. But then, the Treaty of Opus 12 says that, Verena.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
well, yeah, that's actually kind of cool.
It's good.
Not like
It's
that
good.
sort of thing.
I like it. Like obviously it breaks itself, but that's kind of fine because you just hold the late card you have in hand for a wee while until until you've got more backups, and then you're happy to break it. It's done its job.
Is there any way to turn it off so that it doesn't break? Is the first question that came to my mind. I can't think of anything.
You can play any Stola and break it in response if you
Right.
want, or you can I'm a Soretsu it.
Well,
Yeah,
that is a meme ability 10 out of 10. I'm just gonna put this out there.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna Amaterasu my own princess goblin so that I've got 5 backups next turn to blow you out. That
So
if you
my
ever,
Estonian still keep pace.
if you ever pull that play off, that's like casting a summon to cancel to activate your own Celeste, man. We're getting to deep levels of FFTCG here.
So you can activate. Yes, this is the Gregs of plays we're talking about here. So, I'd probably give it like a safe 7 on playability. It's good.
Don't know where it wants to go yet.
It's
To-
WAF as well, which is a relevant
Like
category.
Yeah,
Forward is
Waff
like
was making it really good because you don't have to have life force in your deck. It can just be another Waff name. And the thing is, there's a lot of Earth Waffs, right? But there's not many Fire Waffs. You'll see a lot of Waff decks just run these random
Yeah.
Fire backups just to fill up the backup slots.
Yeah, this is true.
So
This is
it's
true.
kind of something they needed.
I think 7 seems about right. Yeah, seems about right. As for meme ability, I mean, it gets your light forwards and
Nah,
no
I'm
one
going
wants
to
to
be
play
very
light
high.
forwards.
Yeah,
I think it's
I
very
give
sick.
it a 9 in the 6 skill.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the perfect
It's
amount.
also got a cool heart staff, and that the art's cool. I like
I'm
the
sorry,
art.
if you're calling
don't
that
like
cool,
it.
then I feel like you've got problems.
I want a heart staff. Listen.
Pink and red don't go together, and there's pink on a red card, and I don't like it.
See, I respect that point of view. I don't respect the guy looking at that staff and calling it. You can call it many things, but I don't think you can call it cool. Right? I'm just gonna put this out there.
Listen.
Also,
this
she's
is
got
not...
there's an eye on the helmet, and that's weird. That's really
That,
weird.
it's like a Full Metal Alchemist style thing. Like, you can go to a portal if you look at it too long.
Illuminati
Isn't
goblin.
standing on something.
Illuminati Goblin.
Illuminati. Goblin.
So that's his new name, isn't it? It's not Princess, it's
Right.
Illuminati Goblin.
Well,
I just noticed the thing it's standing on. Just
what?
like
Oh my god, it's
It's
stood in
like
someone's
the top.
face. It's just on someone.
It's literally feet on eyebrows. All right, 10.
It's climbed on someone's face just to point at you and wave its staff at you. I'm loving it. 10.
10.
okay.
10.
Okay. Next card. Next card.
I mean, it is a samurai. That is relevant. I wish it wasn't.
I wish it didn't have that second line. It's already a really bad effect. I don't know why it needs to have an extra restriction on top. You don't really want to be tapping 3 and breaking it.
If
Just
you,
do
Yeah,
late
4
K.
TP to be late K is not
Yeah.
a lot.
to be
Like,
fair,
I get that for free on the experts nowadays.
Yeah.
to be fair, if you're playing this card, then that second line of text isn't relevant.
Yeah, I
It's just
suppose so.
If you're playing it, you're already playing mono fire samurais.
Mm.
Move.
I mean, it's still not good enough. There's better samurais.
I mean, with Tenzin, well, we'll get into that later. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll get into that.
we'll
Yeah,
get
so,
into that
like,
later.
This is probably like a 2-1, I think. It's not sick. and
It's
probably
very
2
boring.
playability.
It's
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very boring. Like, it's a samurai in, like, holding the samurai like a broadsword. It just don't get better. It gets worse every time I look at it. This next card, however, I think is pretty interesting.
It's alright.
Because how often can you turn around and say, right, I'm going to pay 7, I'm going to play this standard unit, and I'm going to kill your BFA, and your BFA does not get to trade into something good. It just trades into this crappy 7k. You know? I feel
Thing
like...
is, it's a standard unit, so it's got a lot of interactability. So even if the effect isn't that great, like it's quite expensive. Like you think about it, you run it with like arc. Like you arc this back, you activate 3 backups from Arc's first effect, and then you pull that off. I don't know if that's worth running in a deck, but it's something like it's got that kind of play.
It's 9k removal on a stick. You can't shake. You can't necessarily turn around and say that's. It might not be good. It's probably not good enough, but it's one of those cards that if you can find a place for it, it'll probably do some work.
It'll be good in like L3 and then thing.
Yeah, I can.
I forgot L3 was a thing. Oh my god.
L3 is very much a thing.
Oh god.
It's a thing. I wish it wasn't. All right.
I don't think it's that sick. I don't think
it's. Every now and again, you'll get someone with it, and they'll look at you and be like, "Why on earth are you playing that card?" And that'll make you smile inside. But I don't think that's something to be proud of.
No.
The card's okay, but okay is not good enough anymore. I think.
Yeah, I'll agree there.
The fact you've got another backup to play it as well, really, because
it's a odd cost.
If it was a 2-cost 5k, I'd like this card a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
then you can discard 1 and then maybe tap 5 and do some shenanigans.
Yeah.
Or even just play it off 2 backups and 9k something,
I can only pick 1 forward. That's the problem. If you could maybe spread the damage, then it'd be better.
Or just deal 3k to something for every backup you dealt. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
So we're talking about a lot of what's and F's, which makes you just think this is probably like a.
I'm not even gonna bother rating it. Let's move on.
It's average. Right. It's an average. It's not sick. It's an average card.
So.
All right. Well, this guy searches on party attack,
and he's got haste, so that's all right.
How do you attack? Really good. How do you party attack with it? You need to have another warrior light on the field, isn't it?
Yeah.
Forms a party and attacks. Yeah. So you can play like something like you can play like wall, 4-cost 7k wall. Look at the top 5 cards, pick this, put it into play, attack, and search up another warrior light. That's not a bad line of play.
No.
What 2-drop warrior lights do we have?
No, it has to party attack. So it has to be fire.
Yeah, fire. It has to party attack. If you look, there's not that many fire. There's not many fire warrior lights unless you specifically have Aegis on the field already.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Aegis, Faris. That's a bit, and Lunith.
It does. It works pretty well with Faris, actually. To be fair, at the very least.
Oh.
Because being able to pay 1 to deal an amount of damage to something.
That's really decent, but that's more of a Faris effect.
That's because Faris is cool, not because Sol's cool.
Yeah. What 2-drop warrior lights do we have as even a target for this?
Yes, Warrior of Light.
You're looking at the Warrior of Light.
Yes, Sol and Sol.
No, the 2-drop Warrior Light that buffs you board
by... 2-drop Warrior Light that gives haste.
Oh, right.
Buffs you board by... Is it 3k? Or is it 2... I can't remember if it's 2, 3 or 4.
It boosts 2k.
It's 2k, and if you've got
no, of cost 2 or more, sorry, it says.
It's 2 or more. Alright, so
that's good, right? Never mind, that's actually decent.
Alright, I like this a lot.
That's decent.
That's not saying I like it, just that I like it more than I did.
That's giving it an extra point in my book, so I'm gonna give it like a 4, I think.
Yeah, I think
it's a bit better than that.
I think it's better than Aegis. I gave Aegis a 4. I think this is better than Aegis.
Okay, I'll give this a 5 then, I suppose. Yeah, okay. And it's not that sick.
I reckon it's 7.
Party attacking.
Well, it's the fact that you're searching the thing in combat, so you don't get to search something and do cool combat stuff with it, unless you do something really janky.
From my opinion, is the payoff isn't good enough. It's got haste, fine, but the other forward it has to party, so it has to be a fire card, right?
Yeah.
How many fire warrior of lights are there? Aegis, warrior of light, Lunith. That's about it. Do I want to play a 1-mana 2k that can sometimes search a card? Or do I want to play Yuna, which if I just party attack, I get a -1 mana 7k that can potentially get more value later on.
Yeah.
Okay, so not that sick, not amazing.
It's kind of
Yeah. We'll spend a lot of time in a Sol.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Oh, it's a legend now, isn't it?
I
are we sure it's a legend?
I wish this card
you can tell from the art, but not from anything else.
I mean, the text is fantastic if you replace the word samurai with any other word in the English language.
Yeah, it's got good lines of text, and it's really it's a really dull card. It's not
It's
like I like that effect. I just wish it, as you said, it's another job.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's not
if
even
it-
an interesting effect. It's just like, all right,
Right.
I'm going to slowly but surely pay off the cost that you paid for me. I'm brave. I'm big. Keyword big is a relevant keyword, by the way. I'd just like to put that.
Samurai
out there.
has so
Mhm.
much big stuff anyway, though. Like, does that
Um,
really matter?
And
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
smaller than big nowadays. Like BFA and like Yasma and all that are like bigger than this, and they're
you,
Why
cooler
why do
as
you only
well.
add one? That's what I'm confused about. Shouldn't it just be every samurai reveal, or at least two? You know,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's already very specific. There's not that many samurais. I guess they're thinking about future formats, but even then, you'd have to play samurais
you
in
also
that
have,
kind of deck anyway.
you have to have like, I think I did the maths. I think you have to have like 15. I think you've got to have 17 samurai total, including the first Tenzin, to make it so that it's consistent enough to be worth doing. And there's no world in which there's 17 samurais that I want in my deck.
Yeah,
There
that's
just
the
Yeah.
isn't.
problem. The problem isn't this card. It's what you have to sacrifice in your deck to make
Yeah.
this card good.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah,
And
it's
when I-
it's bad
then
nail.
You have to compare it to Nail, exactly. Nail's
Yeah.
the card to compare this to. Would I want to commit all that to this payoff, or do you just want to play a Nail and reveal two forwards, right?
I hate Nail.
The card it reminds me most of is Ace.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Ace,
yeah,
right.
yeah, definitely.
Ace had relevant cards around it that it helped.
hmm
This is kind of just sat there going like, all right, I'm gonna have a bunch of samurai backups, me and Cyan, and hope I can party attack and clear a board.
There's two actually playable samurais. There's the backup that buffs BFA to 12,000, so it wins mirrors.
Yeah.
And the Cyan that searches it on EX.
Searches. It also says
that-
whenever a samurai you control attacks, deal a board an
Which is
amount equal
decent.
to the number of
Yeah,
samurais
yeah,
you
entirely.
control.
Which is
So
which
it's
is
like
a good
you
effect.
you fill yourself up with samurai backups. You play this, you play that, you hit for like 20,000 damage on their entire board, and then you win the game. That's the fantasy.
You say that, but someone did that to me the other day, and then I just played Rampire and won. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. You just play better cards than them and they lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
You
card-
really got to think of card quality this.
Yeah, the card quality is so low that it's like, it's not worth it. It's just not.
Yeah.
And all the fun part of that is from Cyan, not this card. This card's boring as hell.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, I agree. Right, moving on then. So I guess we'll rate it since it's a legend. We need to rate it.
As a card, maybe 5. But
Yeah,
ability is quite high.
I'd put an asterisk on whatever rating I give it, because if we get a couple of good samurais, I'm coming back to it.
Yeah,
I'm
fair
just
enough.
gonna say
Yeah,
that. If we
I'm
get
gonna
a-
give it 5 and 5, but I put a plus sign next to that just in case, like future proof it.
but
Give it a 5 and a 6.
as a meme, if you pull off the samurai meme, mate, you're winning, because no one can ever say anything to you again.
I mean,
You beat them with samurais, it's over. Their career as an FFTCG player
they're
is
gonna
done.
quit FFTCG.
They got to pack up and go play Yu-Gi-Oh or something.
Oh god, a fate worse than death.
All right,
Next
yeah.
card,
let's have a look. We've got Ninja.
Ninja.
I mean, it's a
Decent.
ninja. It's a standard unit.
It's good in Ninja deck.
It's a ninja
Oh, I
deck.
just said the
It'll
Yu-Gi-Oh
probably
thing.
do
Then, yeah.
work.
Yeah, I killed your Izana with it earlier on screen when we were
Yeah.
playing some games. So
Yeah, but
that's so bad. It works well with Edge because you can do 5k and then Edge can then ping for 3k, which is decent. It's actually decent.
I think this card is okay overall.
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
it's not very hard to set up. We just need to have a forward, pretty much, right?
It's not.
There's not
but
there's been on the
yeah.
field for a turn. Yeah,
it's
I'm
one of
gonna
those
give
that
this like
you
a
might find a slot for it. You might not. It's probably fun.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's probably some cool stuff you can do as well. Like
I think there's enough follow-up for this to be viable.
yeah. Well, the thing is, you can play this multiplayer if you're running multiple as well. You could probably like if you're like really lucky, you can like
Just
make
go-
the forward swing for 10k,
Alright,
which
I'm
is
gonna-
alright.
play 3 ninjas and hit you for 15,000 damage. What are you gonna do about that?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, I like it.
give
I'm
it
gonna
to
give it
someone
like a...
that can attack more than once, and that would be fun.
Oh yeah, that's fair actually.
5th backup for Estinian. You can
Like,
block or not.
if
Look,
you
I'm
kill him
still
or
killing you, guy.
Barts, Opus 3 Barts. That's a good card.
That is a very memeable card, is that?
Yeah.
coming
So I
back
think for
and
the memes that we played in the multiplayer stuff, I'm going to give it an extra point in meme ability. So I'm going to
In terms of
put it
memes,
to
you want to be comboing with cards that can attack twice, right? So you can
Yeah,
get full
yeah.
value out of this.
Yeah.
like backup
There's not
Cholinka
that
and stuff.
many. Literally just Rosa, Bart, Archangel. No, not Archangel. What's the other one? The one that attacks twice. Estinian, that's it.
Yeah. And Cholinka backup, which I guess
Yeah.
is Firewind if you want to, but eh. Okay, I'm gonna give this like a 4, a 5. I give it a 5 because it's not bad. I give it a 5 playability, and I'll give
I'll give it a 6 or 7.
I'd give it a
I can
6.
see myself
okay.
playing
I'll
this.
give it yeah, 6.
I think 5's harsh considering I give Sol 5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think this
we
card
can
is
think
better than Sol.
high.
Like,
Okay,
just
I'll give it a
straight.
6. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 then.
Yeah, for me, 6 to
And
7 is like playable range. You know?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a 6 is something that if
Like a
I'm
one-up,
looking
you know,
through cards and
yeah.
I see it, I'm like, you know what, this might go in.
Yeah. Meme ability. It's not that memey. It can
It's
be.
not
It
that-
can be
I
in
mean,
mini decks, but it's not
Edge
meme
is the
itself.
dream, you know, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it like a 7 in meme ability.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
I'd
Okay,
probably go
nice.
6. Yeah. All right.
We've been using second meme ability interchangeably, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, talking about sick cards, man. Have you seen this Bahamut? Have you seen this? Because
It's
Wow.
there's
Wow.
so
Look
much
at this
fun
card.
with the idea, man. So
Look
much
at
fun.
this
with it.
card.
I've got 7 or more summons in my break zone. I get to attack and deal 5k, then discard another summon to deal 4k. Or I can even discard the 7th summon to the impulse special if it's a Bahamut to put 7 in my break zone and give me the 5k trigger off the 4k I've already done.
Well, we're probably stretching at the second bit.
Maybe,
Yeah,
because you do have to be
maybe.
playing Bahamut
It's
as a
just
summon.
weird
you
that
have to
you
run
go forward.
Bahamut.
Like,
It
why
is
would
nice
you
that we
go
finally have
forward?
a summon, right? That is also a forward.
Yeah,
It
and
means
it
you
changes
actually have
special
summons
rule.
that can be S effects.
It means
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you've got a forward that you can have an S effect off of a card that you can still play otherwise. And that's, that's a rarity. That's kind of why S effects have kind of just died from competitive Final Fantasy.
There
I
are
wasn't
hardly any
sure.
S effects in this set.
Yeah. I think this is a card that is much more memeable than it's actually good.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
much more.
For sure. It's sick, and the fantasy is super high, but the card
Yeah.
itself is.
I really like that S effect. You know, the impulse one is just
Yeah, yeah.
instant. You
Yeah,
don't have to
Yeah,
wait.
that's good. That's good.
It's just you
You
don't
can
have to
just
go
go AK. Not AK,
Yeah,
4K, 4K into
4K,
AK.
4K. Yep.
Yeah, you do have to run Bahamut to do it, which is heartbreaking, but because we don't have any good summon Bahamuts other than like
yeah.
the 9-drop which sees playing Nvidia decks sometimes.
But it's the fact that it's also, it summons, so it counts the Bahamuts that you use for the S effect. So if you discard a Bahamut to the S effect, you can hit the 3 or the 7, just like that. So you can discard 4k. You can deal 4k to a board, and buff your guy by 2k in the same play, which could, eventually come up.
Yeah.
Eventually is the wrong
decent.
word.
That's
It could come up. It's cool.
It's not
Yeah.
hard to have 3 in the break zone, so he's always going to be a 9K, I think, most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3-drop Nike is not bad, but
And
then
if you're
doesn't
playing it, so
Fairy on do that
It
better?
might sometimes be 2K, because Muti reactivates when you play this card, because it's still
Yeah.
a name Bahamut.
And if you've got it in your deck and you really don't want to play it, you can always just attack with Caius and deal 7k or something instead.
Genius.
Yeah, broken.
It's the most broken thing I've ever done in this trading card game, and I've not even done it yet.
I'm probably gonna give it like 5 playability, and then memeability give it like a 9.
Oh.
I mean, if you
I'm
make
gonna give it
someone...
7 on playability. I think it's very playable. No, I'm stretching. It's 6. It's
That's
6. I'm stretching.
sick. It's a card that I'd consider, but it's a card that I'm probably not gonna
I
make
got a
it.
bit biased there.
Yeah, it's probably not
Because
gonna make it
I'm a
into
10 guy, and it's a 10 card.
It is a tank. Oh.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on. I could wax lyrical about it just being a 10 card. Right, this card isn't worth talking about until we get to the other one.
Yeah. This is
I have a quick question. Like, how does the cannot cast thing work? What does
cast
actually
means from
mean?
hand.
Means can't be played from hand.
You cannot
Okay.
dull
You can
3
still
CP
play-
to put it into
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, that's all it means. You cannot pay mana to play this card. That's what I mean. So you can still, if there's cards that say play a 3-drop from your hand, they can still be used. It just means you cannot pay the cost to play it, basically.
Okay. Yes, but
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. I think if it's played from hand, I don't think it works at all. But I'm
No,
not
no, no.
sure.
Cast means pay the cost to
No,
play.
cast
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
It literally means you have to pay the
Ignore me,
mana.
ignore-
Yeah.
ignore me,
So
ignore
if
me
you
then.
could make it if you could reduce its cost to 0 CP somehow, then you would still
Yeah.
be able to play it from hand because you wouldn't technically be casting it.
Okay, so
I think
I
it's
think
like everything we talked about Alpha Node kind of applies to this card, right?
Yeah.
In terms of how we would play this
Yeah.
on the
It's
board,
weird how they
Phoenix,
wrote it differently.
Sunday, etc.
The difference is if you top deck Alpha now, you can always just run him out to block for a little
Exactly,
bit. This
and
guy,
this is just a dead card.
And 7k is not good. 7k is not like a big number to hit either.
Mhm.
it's hitting stuff that's already done that's already
It's not
done the
very
job.
relevant. There's just so many 7Ks that just kind of do
Yeah.
their job, right? And then they just
Yeah.
don't have to do anymore.
Like you're not hitting Tola with it unless you're using Kukaspel. Same with
But,
Aerith. You know, so like apart from that, what other 7Ks we're really seeing? I mean, Lock.
yeah.
Lock if
Yeah,
you're not
Lock's
going
an
Edgar
okay
up.
target.
But then Edgar just buffs it.
Ritz is almost always 8k.
You can hit the
Yeah.
Marsh, I guess.
Yeah.
And it stops him attacking in one turn. It's not that great. It's not that great.
It's a 9K,
It-
so you know.
It
It's a pretty
combos well
funny
with
game,
stuff, but the problem with that is it's got to be in your deck to combo with stuff, and if it's in your deck, it's
Yeah.
garbage. If I could
Yeah.
like wish this into my hand whenever I needed it, that'd be sick.
Mhm.
I'd love that. Right.
It's just a weird card.
Yeah.
weirdest.
I'm gonna give it like a 3, no 4 in playability. And yeah, 4. Cause it's like Palom.
I don't think you
which
can give
I wouldn't play.
I don't think I can give it 4 because I gave Aegis 4, and
It's like
Aegis is
2.
fringe playable in the right deck. And this,
So is this, I think.
Mm,
Oh no,
I-
you don't know. You're right. You're right.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
No,
not
no,
really 3.
I might be wrong. I might be right. I think 3 is fine, but
Yeah.
plus it goes with its cost.
meme
but it's
ability.
completely irrelevant because you're never ever going to be using it.
It's got very vanilla text, so I'm not going to give it any meme ability score. It's like a 1. Like, that's how sick it is. It's not that sick.
I'd like to bother talking about how sick.
I'll give it a 4.
For playability
looks
or meme
pretty sick.
ability,
He looks pretty hench, does this guy?
it just looks like lines, and I'm not really keen for that. Where's his heart staff? That's what I'm asking.
I think he left it at home when he ran out onto the field to try and smack someone, and then it
It's
looks
actually
like it looks like
it's
he's
on his
falling
pet-
over.
it's on his It's on his person, but you just can't see it. That's what the heart staff
Strapped
is,
to his
you know,
back.
It's not in the. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Oh.
Oh man.
He's just a complex lollipop stick. That's all I'm saying.
All right, moving on.
Right.
Let's not call people lollipop sticks when we don't know them yet.
Oh, let's move on again. This one's bad. This isn't good.
Yeah, let's move along.
Yeah, this is EX burst, but it's not even a good EX burst.
It's like EX burst don't really do anything.
EX
this
burst, you
makes
get killed
the
by
mono
Xana.
player in me want to cry.
All right, this.
Well, that's okay. Every card in the new Opuses make water players want to cry because none of them are water.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to a card. That's
Yeah, let's just move
actually
on. This is not
interesting,
interesting. Oh yes, here we go. Interesting card.
because
It's got text.
there's got to be something broken you can do with this card. There
Wait
just
a few
has to be.
days, and Christopher Matisse will make a deck this and make it work, and then everyone will play that.
And
Let's
I'll
be
have
honest.
43 EX bursts and everyone will be sad.
And half of them will deal for. You know what? It'll probably have Blaze in it. I mean, Blaze doesn't. Blaze does not specify your opponent's forwards. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Oh no, you're right. No, you're right.
I'm just gonna put it out there, right?
You can please kill their. You can kill their Gabranth and fucking damage your Magasa. That's it. Game over. You win.
Yo, if that ever happens to me, I am conceding on the spot. Just putting it out there, if you're playing against me in any sort of, casual game tournament, whatever, if you blaze your own Magissa and get something into play, I'm gone. I'll pack up and go home. I'll
You
pack
heard
up.
it here first. That's in writing.
I'll walk home. Right, I'm just gonna say that.
I can't wait for you to lose to that on tap. That'll be great.
I'll be fine. I'll already be at home, so I'll have to walk.
It's already home. You don't have to walk very far. We're kind like that, you know.
I'll just go get into bed, curl up, and cry a little bit.
Yeah, there's lots of Facebook posts about ways to like trigger this, and that kind of speaks for how like interesting and versatile the card is. People are interested to play this, and they're looking to find ways to do it for decent value. So I think it's good. I don't think you want to waste a summon on it. As a lot of people say, like one drop effort, and I'm not gonna. I would be okay transferring a card to like paying for it to a card on board, but I'd rather have a more consistent way of just dealing at 4K.
The problem
It
is
doesn't
that
involve
you're sacrificing
hand
card
size.
quality in your deck, and that's something that at this stage of the Final Fantasy trading card game, you just can't do. You can't
Yeah,
be like, I'm
you
going to
could.
put this bad card in my deck because it does this cool thing, unless you're just building around doing cool things.
Yeah.
In which case,
Usually I'd agree with that, but I think the payoff of this card is kind of ridiculous. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. It could be amazing.
Slight-
It could be not. I feel like it needs a lot of
thing is,
testing.
Yeah,
it's limited to fire forwards, which makes it not nearly as good as it could be. Because there's not many good 3-drop fire forwards. It's not 3 or less, it's 3. So there's
is
Alphano,
exactly
which is
true.
like
you're looking
yeah,
at
Alphano is good.
You're looking at
from this.
Vivi. You're looking at Lise. You know,
And they're
this-
not all great.
this-
Alphano's probably the best one there because that's the only one that generates like value. Like maybe Vivi because I can kill things, but at least it's just buff your board, and that can be relevant sometimes, but it's not that great. Just a bit of a lightning rod forward that you've set up a really complex thing for. But obviously for every 3-drop fire forward we get printed, it's gonna get better and better.
There is
Yeah.
there is a line of text on this card that people are ignoring, and that is the word unblockable. Because
That
if
is
your
true.
board
That
is
is true.
7Ks
Yeah.
or lower, you can't block this card. It's just going to
Yeah,
attack,
ever.
and you can't do it.
Yeah, and it can play during your opponent's turn as well.
Yeah, once per
Yeah,
turn.
yeah.
Doesn't matter whose turn, just once per turn.
Yeah, so it's good. I don't think the targets are fantastic right now, other than Alphano, but every set it's going to get better and better. So I'm going to give this like a 9 in memorability. Actually, this is a sick card.
Let's have a quick look. Right, FF decks, card database, fire 3-drops. Okay. Forwards. We have very little.
Yeah.
Pound, if
Yeah, I
you
already
wanna do
checked.
that.
Not that many great
There
targets.
really isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to go deep on the memes, you can always put Dark Lord in. Alright, I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, I suppose.
Dark Lord Slink is broken. Don't at me. You know. Can you Dark Lord choose Magista?
Oh gosh, but yeah, there's really not much here. There's the warrior that we just talked about earlier that we probably shouldn't have talked about, but I like that card too much.
That's actually probably alright for this because you know.
You know, you use the CP that you would have spent to play the warrior to 9k something instead. That's probably fine, right? But yeah, no, there's not really many good targets.
Yeah. The thing is, what's good about it though is like if someone Fiend of Alphas, you're bored. You're more than likely gonna like Magistat in between that, so you still have a body on board after your board's been wiped.
This is true.
Yeah, I may have taken 5k, but that's fairly. There's got to be some said for that. So I think it's good card quality. I think it's memorability.
Yeah.
I like this one. This is good to talk about.
I'm not gonna grade it for playability because the playability depends on whether or not someone can break it. But if someone can break it, yeah.
I'll give it a 7 to 9. I think that right now it has a range of like playability right now. I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's a sick card. I'm gonna give it a 9 because it's fairly sick. I like it.
I can respect.
Oh no, we're on this one.
Wow.
No, we're on this one.
This might be the single
This is
most
so weird. It's just so
boring card.
weird. Yeah.
This is right. We're currently in online play, and this is the hardest card to play online because your opponent needs to do so much. And
Man, I
if you take it,
I figured out how to do it online. You just
well,
play
no,
it.
you figured out how to do the start of it, but then when you take control of your opponent's card, if you're doing an untap,
Oh,
you,
yeah, no, that's-
your opponent just has to tap and like activate it and all that for you. It's
Yeah, but
annoying, and then when it
it's
says
fine 'cause you just
untap all, they're like,
refused
is
it,
that
so-
active or?
You just refuse it, so they don't get to do anything. You win the game. It's fine. It's easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
You can. The ruling on the card is you can just use it whenever you want, right? So if the situation ever comes up where the card's good, you can just do it.
Yeah, you just cast it. For 2
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
Just crazy that bit. But obviously it's way overcost for what you're actually doing at the start.
It's a 4-cost 7k that essentially draws you a card. But
that
that
melts your
card-
opponent one as well.
That card is guaranteed light or dark. Mikey, the 1 mil doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put it out.
No. This is the best mill card in the game right now. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because
Like,
it
actually.
don't give a crap if it's actually milling or not.
Yeah, entirely.
But no, it draws you a light or dark card essentially because it's a card.
Mm-hmm.
It's a light or dark card that says you can't discard this to your opponent's effects.
It's good. It's very, very good.
It's
I've played with it already. It's very, very good. And even before then, I was like, damn, there's just a lot going on. It's FF9 as well, which is like a relevant category. It's got a lot of searchers.
it's a relevant category. It's
It's-
Like the art.
The art's
Hang on.
good as well, yeah.
one.
This probably
card.
should be a legend. Like, this is so much better than
Hang on
Senzin.
one second.
It's a 9. That's what I really like about it.
Yeah, relevant category. It's good.
What's the card that
It's
lets
not
you put?
just a relevant category.
What do you mean?
It's Headhunter. No, you're right.
It's
Headhunter's
also-
a relevant
Oh,
job.
my God, right.
No.
I'm gonna put it out there, right? That is
Oh,
that
no.
is a point in memeability for me. But this is a headhunter and synergizes with other headhunters.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you so much.
The current
That's why you
character
can't-
It now has.
the headhunter
It
card.
now has 1 in memeability from me. I'm just gonna put it out there.
No, I think this is gonna lead to some really, really cool memes. Like if you're playing against it, you're raging. But if you're playing it, you're like, "Wow, look at this! Look what I'm doing!" Because you're playing synergies that you wouldn't be able to play otherwise because you're not in that element combination. Like if you start taking like a lightning card from your opponent and you're playing like fire water, you're gonna get some like cool stuff. You're able to play Soya in that, and that's good. That's really good.
It is like you're gonna be able to do some cool stuff, but being on the other side of that is going to feel absolutely miserable.
Oh
'Cause
god, yeah.
Not only have you got to
entirely.
play around your opponent's deck and what you think is in there, what might be in their hand, you've also got to be playing around what's in your own break zone and thing as you'd normally do. But understanding that any of the cards that might be in your deck might also be sat there on your opponent's side of the field that they're looking at and just grinning at you a little bit.
And then they never know what it and you cry.
I played a game earlier and had my Shantoto taken.
Oh no! I played a game
Thankfully for me-
earlier and I
He had 4 forwards in play and I had 1. So it didn't matter that much, but it still felt miserable at the end of the game.
I played a couple games earlier where I brought back, the new Lightning Ninja backup, which we'll get into when we get to it. And I bounced my Lanny back and played a 5-drop and played the Lanny again. And it was like, yeah, now I'm stuck in a Lightning backup, which I'm not really keen for in my Earth Winds deck, but so this is funny.
I've decided I've really liked this card suddenly because Ultimecia. Like, that's a meme. Right?
Yep.
That's
Seriously.
true.
Put,
It's
like,
really
something you know they
memeable.
have
It
on
is
top of
really
that.
memeable.
Alright.
Right.
I'm gonna
Some fun
I'm gonna give it
stuff.
like a 9 playability, and I'm gonna give it a 8 memeability. This is good.
It's getting
I think I would agree with that.
it's getting memeability 1 from me. Protest. It is a headhunter, and that is the only part about this card I will acknowledge. Right, shall we?
All
move-
right. Yeah, because we're 19 of the 131.
Shall we move on out into a
let's
We're
move
at
on,
our
let's
ice
move on.
card. We're at our first ice card. That's a good Northstalin target, slightly better than Suchas Bloodsay.
I disagree with that. I don't like paying 4 CP for the potential to possibly pay a 4 cost card.
Fair, but you're not playing this in ice decks, you're playing this in wind decks. So we've got like leftover CP from like a, say you're running like a Valfor or Deebols or like something. Like,
Yeah,
it's
but-
maybe not as good as like Chocolati for that, but it's,
The cards it misses are the cards that you really, really do not want to remove from the game. Because it's missing on your highest quality
Maybe you
cards in
should play it
Windex.
with
It's missing
Yule.
on your Bartzes, it's missing on your Feenas, it's missing on your Locks. These are the cards that if you
Yeah.
remove these cards from the game, your chances of your chances of winning drastically go down. Shouts out to whoever gets that reference. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that. Yeah, no, I
It's
don't.
probably memeable. It's probably memeable more than it is good.
Oh, yeah, like you'll do some fun
It's,
stuff.
it's like any like reveal top card. Like there's a gamble to it, and that makes it more interesting than not. So I'm probably gonna give it like a 6 when it comes to memeability, maybe 7. And
I think what I
power-
like about it is it's a card you can play when your hand is dead, right? Like,
Yeah,
let's say you're top decking, you got 3 backups. At least you got a chance to look at your next card.
Mhm.
Even if that's a backup, that's a card you're not going to see next turn if you mill it, right?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
in that sense, I kind of like it.
This.
But other than that, it's not something you really think about when you build decking. Build decking? Deck
Yeah.
building.
It's like a.
I'm
It's like a right. Well, I'm losing, so I've got to flip the coin one more time, I guess. That's
yeah,
what
let's
this card
take.
is. But
I'm probably running it in Icewind decks just as an Orstallan target
Even-
over Suchaspal, probably.
I guess but the problem is even then, like, there's another better Norse Talon target coming up. You know,
Oh yes, there is.
I
Oh well, let's.
I don't know, man. I just don't.
Well, we can move on from wrestling because there's not much to be said for us, and we have spent a lot of time on this already.
Let's move on.
Not on this, just on other cards.
Right. Well, this isn't a card, is it? Ulmir? I don't think that's a card.
It's alright. It's not
It's
good.
Job
But it's
Bard.
alright.
It has that going for it, and that's about it.
Searchable for by Star Sybil, but it's not a backup, so it doesn't really matter. The art's
Yeah.
cool. I like the art. Like, just that's it.
I can achieve the same result this is trying to achieve by right-clicking. With the I can just go tap 3, play Illua, attack, and I achieve the same result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, there's a lot of
Oh.
results you achieve by paying 3 to play a lure.
That's true.
Shall we move on to Necron? Because
Yes. Oh, Necron! That's a
He-
good card, and it's an interesting card, and it does fun stuff, and I'm excited.
I'm just gonna start out with saying the chances of it actually being playable pretty low.
Oh, solo.
So low. You're talking about a situation where the game's slow enough that you can play a 5-cost 9k, have it survive till the end of the turn when the board is stalled enough for that not to be really bad. Deal your opponent 1 point of damage in a situation where an EX burst for them is something that you can't respond to in any way, shape or form by developing in your second main phase, because it happens at the end of the turn. But it's so cool, man.
It's so cool. It's just, I'm giving this a 10 when it comes to how sick it is. Like, honestly, I'm like, this is a really, really sick card and entertaining. And secondary win cons are just, there's just a natural appeal to them.
Tush, Jenny,
Or like
any thoughts on
sexy.
my boy Necron?
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah, it's not. I don't think he's that competitive viable in terms of actual being good or
Oh, no,
anything.
not entirely not, no.
In terms of meme ability, I'm feeling it.
I think he's better than like the bad cards I've already spoke about, so I'm probably gonna give him like a 5 to 6, maybe like in terms of competitive like
In terms of
playability. And then when it
I
comes-
like putting him on a level with Sol. I think that seems like that feels
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Meme ability 10, definitely.
Yes,
I'm gonna build decks around him, like absolutely.
I'm gonna have this in a deck. I'm gonna put my opponent to 6, and then if the last point of damage isn't dealt by this, I'm not gonna deal it. That's
Yeah, I like that. Like just Spiritus Chaos, and then you've got Tyro out. You play
Well,
the Necron, you choose a Tyro, so it still taps for another element. And you're like, yep.
I mean, having
Yep.
Chaos Kadaj in your deck is something that you're not necessarily going to be like, oh, I don't want to do that. That's something that's going to be in decks. So if you got
Yeah, well,
Chaos
the thing
Kadaj
is-
in the deck, you can go, all right, well, I'm going to play this Necron, turn my Tyro into a dark card or something like that. You know, whatever.
Yeah, the thing is,
like-
Kadaj works the way it wants to in this because you like even though it's end of turn, you get to stack it how you like. So it works the way you want it to with Kadaj. And Kadaj is really hard to kill. Like that's his big thing, and that's why everyone's raging. It's because it's so hard to kill. So it's a good thing for us as well because it means that. Yeah. No, I like it. It's 10 out of 10 meme ability. Not that great, but I'm building decks around it definitely.
Yeah.
'Cause, Right, well,
The only
happy
way I
to move
can
on.
think
Go
of
on,
it being
go on,
a
Jenny.
thing is in the boss deck, and I don't know why. That's all I can think of for this card.
Oh yeah, it's going to be
Oh.
in boss decks a
Oh
lot.
gosh. Right,
Because they're drawing 4.
I'm drawing 4 a turn. I've got 17 dark cards in play. I'm going to play this Necron, deal all 3 of you 1 point of damage.
Because don't you start with like 3 dark cards in play?
Yep. The dark one does, yeah. Starts with like Chaos, Spiritus.
And then either Camelot, Shadow Lord, or Sephiroth. One's got First Strike, one's got Brave, and one's just 9k. They don't have any other abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Um,
With that card.
Right, well, that's not relevant to the set, I suppose. So we can happy to move on.
It's
The
relevant.
card's
to me.
22 out of 131.
I feel like we need to do
Slowly
some
but surely.
Well, this is a meme.
after this. Because this is a good card.
I like this. This is fun.
I don't know how good the card is, but I'll tell you what,
It's not.
the things you can do with it are going to be so much fun.
It's a. It feels quite high ceiling, very low floor because it's it's a dull effect. So you need either a lot of setup or a lot of luck to pull it off.
The issue I have with this card is that at the end of the day, unless you can pull something off with it, it's going to be a black hole. And there's enough ways to stop your opponent pulling something off with it that I'm just not a fan of it in competitive play. Right? I'm just not. There's too many ways to interact with. And if you're using your run sags to protect this, you could just be using your run sags to protect the cards that you're going to put in with it. And
Yeah.
just play those instead. And I don't know, I just feel like that works out better. Plus, it doesn't put lock in.
It doesn't put lock in. That's fair.
Like, if it put lock in, then I'd be like, okay, maybe I can try a little bit harder because it puts in the card that it allows me to like maybe try and splash lock into an Earth Wind deck or an Earth Ice deck, that type of thing. Because even if my backups don't quite line up, I've still got this alternate way of putting it in. But it doesn't, you know. And that's like that'd be the borderline for me.
Maybe it's a worthwhile like Agres card because it's not. It doesn't get played off of Agres, which is fine. Which is actually good.
Yeah.
But it you can LOS show it and sort of Water Lightning Ice
Yeah,
Agres. But and on top of it, Agres is just so fast that you're kind of fine playing like slower cards. Like maybe not quite this slow, but like 6-drop Lightnings he's playing in Agres lists because of. And obviously, the idea is you want to machine gun it with Ash, but like, I think it's all right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyone else thinks? That's just my opinion. Also, I kept thinking that apostrophe in the middle was just an L that someone hadn't quite thingied right.
It's they lost motivation after the A, but then got it back again as he started writing the N.
They just took a
And
break
then didn't go
halfway
back
through,
to fix
right?
it. Yeah.
Went to go have a nap. Siesta.
Yeah, we siesta. I don't have much else to say about this card. It's all right.
No, I don't
Probably-
think payoff's good enough, to be honest.
You don't think the payoff's good enough?
It's good, but I don't think it's good enough.
I think
Yeah. Like locks.
it's
are
a
the
lot
card
of investment.
Locks are the card that I'd be like, okay, this is probably worth it,
Yeah,
just because
I agree with
it's
that.
so much, and getting locks cost down is actually quite hard.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yes. I'm gonna just give this like a 4, 5
Nah,
in playability.
I think
I'll
five.
go 6.
I think 5, maybe
Alright.
6.
I don't say a lot about the card, but I still think it's good enough to warrant a 6.
Okay.
It's just kind of hard to judge the card, but I think it's good enough.
And
Alright.
tell you what,
Meme
though,
ability.
you can pull some sweet ass plays off with this,
That's-
man.
Someone sounds like they're making love to their mic, by the way.
Man,
Eduardo. Oh.
no.
Imagine
Eduardo.
this said opponents.
Well, technically it's a Bahama 0 for 1 turn without casting Bahama 0. Kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like if you're going for a really aggressive game plan and you want to end the game, play Eduardo, sometimes you just get there. You know, in this token kind of decks with lots of
Yeah.
forwards.
I feel like it's just worse than 4-drop Snow though, as a backup for that role.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You got to compare it to Snow. They kind of fulfill the same purpose, but this is, you know, you're never going to use the S effect unless you want to.
Can you imagine?
Unless you're the
if there-
luckiest human being in the planet.
I'm just gonna discard 4 cards from my hand.
Well, don't forget your Eduardo comes in dull, so you'd lose your Eduardo on top.
Oh yeah, no, you have to do it the
Yeah,
next turn. You have to discard
Yeah.
4 cards from your hand on the next turn, so you keep all your backups and break all theirs if they're dull. I don't know, man. I don't like it.
Hey, I'm just trying to resist the power of their 2-drop Knight, you know? And I'm doing it in the sickest way possible.
It dies to your Valor now, right?
Yeah, my Valor, my ice deck.
Yeah,
I've just discarded.
legit.
I've just paid in 5 mono ice CP.
Oh
It
god.
dies to Sid Reigns now. Here we go.
Ah man, this. Right, I'm moving on
Yeah, this is
to
bad.
an actual interesting card.
Oh yeah,
Because,
not as good Kadaj, but still pretty good.
well, it's Kadachi. Like, being able to discard it for CP is, relevant. Because it's not a card that you want to play early game, right? This is a card that you want to play mid-late. So the fact you can discard for CP, unlike Kadaj, who is like, alright, well, I drew it, I guess I've got to play it out, even if it's not necessarily great in this spot. Or it's just going to sit here, either that or it sits here in your hand and you have to discard actual good cards to make other plays. This is something that, if you draw it, it's not very good right now because it's a bit too early. You can just use it for CP, it's fine. That's not something that you can underestimate.
Yeah.
Plus, he's actually got good text.
I don't like his face. Look at him. What? Do you?
He looks pretty high, doesn't he?
I'm
Looks
jealous of
blazed.
this man. Like,
Like,
he's having a
just
great
looking
day.
up.
He looks
Yeah.
blazed. Oh,
I want
gosh.
to be an Ashian, whatever that means and requires.
And alright, I'm not gonna go into details because that'd be FF14 spoilers, but it's not necessarily a good thing.
Everything's FF14 spoilers. I don't like it. I'm not gonna play that game. So, well, yeah, we're recording this, aren't we?
This,
Oh yeah.
this is
That's right,
being
we are.
Sorry, viewers.
This might be seen by
Um,
upwards of 10
Alright,
people.
let's get back on topic. So, in terms of rating, I actually think this card
Oh
is
yeah.
super good. Like,
I-
I'm thinking, you know how we're talking about this out of 10 thing?
Yeah.
This might be my first 10. Now, you might think I'm stretching, but
Really?
it's already a 4-mana 9k, right? And a huge part of why Kadaj is so good is it's just so hard to remove it.
Yeah.
You know, it's very hard to deal with. And being an ice card means like if you have all these Dallin freezes, but that's no good if you don't have any like instant impact with those
Yeah.
cards, right? So just having a 4 that's just sticky like this just means you go Dull, freeze, attack. Like you guaranteed have an attack every turn with this card because it's so hard to deal with.
Like,
That's why I.
Yeah.
It's
the
just,
fact that we're
I can't see why I would never run it in my ice deck. That's
the
why.
fact that
I-
we're comparing it to Kadaj, who is a 10, is, that's something to point out, is that this card is already being compared to a 10.
hmm
So, sorry,
The issue
Jenny,
I
what
have
you
with this card is if it becomes meta, it can be countered so easily in so many ways because people just put, like one
It-
cactuar
it-
in the deck.
it double stacks. So you Cactuar, it effect goes off. Then you chain Diabolos or whatever. Let's say you have Odin. Where does it say this only resolves once per turn? It stacks again to remove itself.
No, I'm not talking
right?
about it like dying. You just stop it from attacking. So like at the beginning of their turn, every turn you just ping it, so it has to.
So
Come onto
you
the field again, so
spent
it can't
essentially
attack.
3 CP. You spent 3 CP to stop it attacking. I'm happy
Yeah,
for my
that,
opponent to
that's
do that.
yeah, that's
That's good. Yeah, you're John. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
sold me on it. Yeah, it's a
Cactuar.
10. It's a
You
10.
also got the damage 5 ETB every single turn.
Eh,
If you do that, so it's like you ping it, it moves.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna break it off out. You ping it.
Yeah, but-
I'm just gonna play 2 cost.
Yeah, but that Cactuar's not forward in game state as well, man. So you're not gaining a backup, you're not gaining a forward. So it's a card in hand you've just lost there. So it's not 1 CP, it's 3 CP. That's 3 CP to stop this from attacking. That's not great.
Yeah. Whatever you paid to stop this is more than I'm investing. It's already above curve, right? The card.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree there. So I'll bite. I give this a 10. I think minimum 9. So
Right?
meme ability, I think it's probably about 3. It's a unique effect.
It's an actual serious effect, you know.
Yeah.
This is a
And
this
see,
is a serious.
by the way, I
this is
just
a
realized
serious
we
card.
talked about all this without its additional effect. It actually has an additional effect on top.
No,
Shown
yeah,
on
it has
side.
extra. I mean,
Oh yeah, but it can bring back Argath and
Yeah.
discard your cards and stuff. That's
Well,
decent. That's good.
it's any forward of cost too. It's not necessarily just so. I mean,
Oh god, that's actually
my
you're right,
Archangel,
that's really
my,
good.
my Archangel TT's coming in every turn, man.
Oh, legit.
Every
Yeah, you
single
get to break
turn.
2 forwards every turn.
You're just
My
gonna get
my
T-post.
Sin Hunters. I'm bringing my Sin Hunters back, guys.
oh no.
No joke. Someone actually said that to me earlier on today.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was me.
I was trying to save you,
Alright.
Mike. I was trying to save you.
I'm
from-
happy.
We need
I'm
to
happy to
speed
move
round
on
this.
from
We're not
this,
even like
yeah.
a fifth of the way through.
It's
We beat
fine.
it
But
I
it's,
swear,
we
like
started
an
this at
hour and a
8, and it's like 5 to 10.
All right, well, we're
Oh,
on.
no.
Speed round.
We're on carbon.
We're not
right?
gonna.
This card's good. I like it.
This card has big hands and it looks weird.
It's pretty. It's cute. I like it.
It has massive hands.
There's a lot of other games
There's a
with
bit-
better looking carbuncles. I'm just gonna say that so that Zab
Yeah.
hates me next time he sees me.
Yeah, screw him. He's not a good card next. Don't care what he does. Don't like his big hands.
Right, yeah, sure, okay. That's it.
Next
Honestly,
card.
it's you've got
Oh,
Solera.
thank God,
You've
this one's not a card. We can skip this one.
What,
Scholar.
Scholar?
Oh, same. This one's also not a card. Let's skip.
No, but I like the little
Whoa.
theory on the scholar card.
Hold up. Let's go through this slowly, right? Let's name the card, then say it's not a card, and then move.
Oh yeah, you aren't on my screen, guys. That's right.
Alright, so we've got Scholar
That-
here. That's not particularly.
That's
I mean,
not a card.
I like the
That
little
doesn't
theory
text.
thing. That's about it. I'm just gonna rate the art from now on.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Theory
It's
sure.
thing is cool.
tap 1, dispel Illua.
wow, you've changed my mind, Tush. It's now an absolute 10 playable and will be at least a 3 of in every ice game I play.
There we go.
I'm bringing it to
Next card.
Worlds,
Attempt to
boys.
sneak
I'm bringing it to
forward.
Worlds.
I will probably attempt
You
to
said that,
sneak
you gotta do
far
it now.
into it at the next regionals or Euros level event I attend. Next card.
If that ever happens again.
Alright.
Gunbreaker. That's a big gun.
Point.
Alright,
Yes.
next card, next card.
Yeah, it's not a card. It doesn't have any text.
Bard. It's cool. Draws
Yes,
2
decent.
eventually later in the game.
Look at his shoe.
It's kind of not
Yeah.
the effect that
It's-
He's wearing high heels.
It's not the type of thing I want to
Oh my
play
God, he
Kratos
is.
for, but I guess I'll happily do it. It is ice, so the tempo loss is actually really relevant.
It's
Like,
it's a kind of not. It's kind of like slightly worse. Suzunia, that type 0 like 1-drop that draws you to.
I'm pretty sure it's not worth it.
Has not ability.
it's,
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it either. But you're using a backup to draw to, which isn't the best. And it's outside of your, not entirely outside of your control, but yeah.
yeah.
It's
I mean, it is
in
optional.
your control, but
It is optional, so you do get to
Oh,
choose
yeah.
if you don't want to do it. That's something that's worth saying.
it's draw and ice, which ice doesn't have a lot of. Sorry, but
Right,
Okay,
it's
I'm
probably
ready
not
for the
worth
next card, guys.
Emperor.
Next card.
it. Oh,
I really like this card because Dark Emperor for Opus 1 was like my favorite card. I got 3 in foil, got them assigned. Love it. I'm gonna make the deck. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
you and Kageyama would get on.
I know, right?
It's like his his favorite card is Dark Emperor as well.
I think
I
this
love
is
that card.
absolute garbage.
No.
Whoa,
It's
whoa.
bad.
I think
It's
this card's
it's bad. It's
awful.
not good. It's not
'Cause-
like so bad, but it's bad.
I think having to commit to play 4 cards with a card named the Emperor in your deck. Because playing
Yeah.
3 is just not enough, right? It
No,
lives a
it's
couple of
6,
times and then
mate.
it discards a
Maybe more.
card. It's, I don't know. I just don't think this card's very good at all.
Kadaj exists. Kadaj exists.
I hate Kadash. I don't get Kadash.
Kadaj.
I'm just gonna put that out there right now. I just don't understand why Kadash is good. And I know I'm wrong,
It's,
but I don't understand why it's good.
It's good because it's
sorry,
too versatile. Alright.
like, it does a lot
Yeah.
of different stuff. They're all good.
Yeah.
Everything it does isn't that good. You'd have done something.
Yeah,
But it does it
RFG,
over and over and over and
dull.
over again. So like
Yeah.
removing 2 from your opponent's break zone's not very good, right?
And it's
But
just not-
removing 6 from your opponent's break zone and attacking for 9k twice, whilst they can't remove it because a lot of decks are really low on summons at this moment in time.
Well, those decks are wrong.
It's not like a very gentlemanly card because like you can only ever deal with it when you've got the least amount of like available CP available to you, and that's why it's a bigger issue. And that's why it's so hard to kill because you don't have like your forward on entry effects. and
It's
you
just
don't have
hard to
your,
kill.
like-
That's the main thing.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I'm-
hard
Why
to
that
kill.
element card is
The
going
only
to be
decks
good. It's
that
hard
played
to kill.
against it is like decks that deal with it really well. So like that's probably why. Like, cause like
Even
I
in
need
dealing with it really
joke
well, you
about it.
can often you still it'll probably still do like 3 damage if they just played it turn 1 because you don't have a way to deal with it because you don't have any
not
CP.
just fan for
Like
it.
that's just
Yeah, you don't really.
I suppose, but
don't
people,
wanna
people
learn
don't tend to run water
It's
decks
not-
nowadays. Is the
it's not.
sadness.
I
Holy
do.
God.
Okay.
Right, let's
Anyway,
move
yeah.
on. Well,
Emperor's
unless
good.
anyone
So
has
Emperor's not that
anything-
great.
Right.
No, it's not great.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fight
I
you
don't
with
like
my
this
Emperor
card. I
deck.
don't think it's good.
Gonna build it right now.
Alright, do it. Place out.
But we'll record it. We'll record it after this. Maybe a few days after this when we're finally done this. But you know.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Alright,
Blue
Shiva.
lady is weird.
No.
Skip.
No. Summoner.
Yeah, she was not that great.
I like this card.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's good.
It's a 2-drop.
Because you can time it whenever you want it to.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It sometimes gets you there if you're in the end game.
Yeah, it's a 2-cost backup that you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
easily like get rid of if you want to play another backup later on.
But
Tempo.
of all the backup quality, if you're playing ice, I think it's like you need really high backup quality. I don't know if this quite cuts it.
This
Yeah,
is true.
no.
This
Yeah, it probably
what
does.
ice summons are you playing apart from Glacier? Sometimes Illyria, that's about it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not- there is that new carbuncle that's potentially a one-off in certain situations, but I don't know.
But it's got big hands, so we can't play it.
This next
That's
card.
it.
She's also
Yeah,
too
yeah,
busy.
let's just
She's
go-
also too busy reading. We can't really put her into play.
No, she's not. She's looking at us and pointing with two fingers
she's
and not reading her book.
She's telling us to fuck off. Let me read. That's
Yeah.
what she's saying.
Yeah, she's
Just go away. Next card,
Bro,
please.
go away with your big hands. I'm
Crystal
not keen for
Exarch
this.
and
Like,
his
this-
massive staff.
Someone needs to like Photoshop that with this, sticking a middle finger up. It would just be weird.
That's the next YYT promo.
Alright, got Crystal Exarch here. He does cool things. They're probably pretty
This
fun.
card is so good. Why is it a thing? I
It's
genuinely think this is like,
because
good.
the thing is, right, it kind of wants you to play mono ice, and you don't want to play mono ice. So it kind of just like even when recent the last few sets when mono ice has been good, it's not been mono. It's been
Yeah,
splashing
mono ice
at least.
backups. That doesn't mean you can't play like.
So it's like, alright, so you've got like a bunch of ice cards in play.
I
Like
don't
maybe if you
really good.
start playing like 3 ice backups, 2 of something else, and then you can actually start putting good cards in play. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, like, even like Ice Earth, that plays mainly ice backups with like Tyro, Shantoto, and Breakable Earth backups being the only real like Earth backups you play. And like, I think it's one of the few decks that can affordably play the 7-drop Shantoto backup now because it's so slow, or it can be. It likes to slow the pace down anyway. So you know that benefits from this. So it's probably worth playing, but I don't know if I'm inherently going to go. I'm building a deck around this quite yet, so I don't know where to rate this. I'm kind of mixed on it.
I think it's really good.
Well,
I'd give it like at least an 8 for playing it.
You'd be surprised
Okay,
how
yeah.
easy you can set up ice backups, you know?
Yeah. I'll agree with 8. I like 8.
It's
not
not like
that
you can
sick.
do that on the same turn. Like you play it main phase 1, then main phase 2. You just get a forward.
Mhm.
That's so good.
alright.
Yeah, no, it's really
Yeah,
good.
The card's good. The card's good.
If you have
Don't
if
get
you
me
have
wrong,
at least
I'm
2
not-
cards in your, 2 backups, it's decent. And anything past that is really good.
It's when you get to 3 is really the key, I think. Because I think when you start hitting 3, that's when you start putting in cards that are actually, solid. You start putting in cards of a reasonable quality. So you're not putting bad cards in your deck just to put in with Crystal Exarch. You're putting in actual
Yeah,
cards.
think of it like an ice Vata. You know how Vata, you play it, react to its 4,
Yeah.
which means you can play another 4-drop on the board? It's
Yeah.
kind of like that. You gotta imagine it's an ice Vata.
Okay, yeah.
Gets you the same value as Vata every time you
that's
play it.
maybe feel like it's a bit better. Yeah. 'Cause, like, don't get me wrong, I like the card, but I don't know. I feel like
But also then Vata
it's
happens
probably
every
just
time.
not gonna find a home.
Mhm.
Is my
I will
issue with
find
this
it,
card.
I
I
think.
don't think it's gonna find a home.
I'll
Mm.
do it.
I see
Anyway.
potential. I'm gonna give it a 6. 6 or 7. Somewhere
fine.
between there.
Yeah, I think 7's fair. I think 7's fair because it's better than a 6, but it's nowhere near an 8 in my opinion.
Mhm.
All right. Well, they put this card into the form. They put this card into the set because they wanted to put a title card in, and they didn't have anywhere to put it, so they put it here. And now I might
Yeah,
this
I don't want to
bad
talk
this
about this, but
card,
this one's bad.
New
He's got a
I'm,
really
I'm actually,
detailed leather
I'm
jacket,
really
but-
offended at that card. That it looks like some legendary art, and it's some rare that does nothing. Really offended.
Not only does it do nothing, it does nothing in the most insulting way possible.
Why can't it only search one?
Why
Why can't I have that limitation in the first place? You know, lightning doesn't have it. You know, the one that searches Odin.
No,
that doesn't
you have
that
to search 2.
limitation.
They have to have a different cost. When he attacks as a 7k, so he's going to struggle to attack. A
Is
lot
there
of the
some-
time. You've got to dull another active category 13 forward you control, not even character, forward. And then
There's
it
probably
only
a
double
mini
freezes
move
forwards. So it's like you've got so many different levers that they could have pulled to make this a good card. That's why it makes me so angry. There's so many different things
So
that they
I'm-
could have done to make this good.
It's a 2 and a 1. It's a 2 and a 1. I'm putting it as that.
I think it's 2 zeros, man. I think it's 2 zeros.
I think
Two
there'll
zeros.
be a
Are
meme.
can we
go
do
back.
zeros?
I tell you though, right? It'll be good in title.
Yeah, but title's not a thing.
Alright, Nuge. No, I've not even read this card, I don't think. Alright, move on.
Oh, it's not that great. It's not bad.
I
Oh,
like-
that's cool.
Bell's really cool. I like Bell a lot. I think Bell's really good.
Oh yeah, Bell's good. Bell's good.
Like,
It's like a slightly worse Kate Sith, and that's
What's
good.
it arm doing?
She's putting on her
I'm
jacket.
confused.
She's
Why
putting
did
on
she
her
have an
jacket.
uwu face? What is it?
Oh
on?
no, she does. Ooh, what you gonna do? I'm gonna discard one of your cards. Ooh.
why are we friends with this guy?
That. I'm gonna have to try and become employable after putting that on the internet. Like, what's?
I've moved on because I'm erasing that from my mind. Mimic, no.
Yeah, Mimic's not a card.
He's wearing.
let's-
Oh, we're
let's
at wind
not
cards
take
now.
Oh, thank God.
We've hit the third element. Let's go.
I mean, you say
I
that, but we've only
like
got
this
37
card.
cards.
Yeah.
I like this card a lot, actually.
I liked this card more before I started playing some of this new format stuff. Because I thought it'd be a lot easier to play 3 cards in a turn than it actually is.
Yeah.
It's really like I thought it was like difficult but doable, but in a lot of situations it's almost impossible.
I feel like every wind deck has 1 or 2 turns in the first like 6 that they'll do like they'll cast a lot of cards at once, and then that's them set up at that point. Like for Earth Wind, it's your Star Stibble, just Semifina, it's your Mjolnir. But I agree with you. It's much harder to do that after you've already done your setup.
So it's like these are situations that you kind of want to have gone through before you play this card. So I think it's don't get me wrong, I think it's a strong card that has some good possibilities, but I feel like it's going to be a lot harder to turn on than people think it is outside of exactly mono wind.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Mono, and that's why I really like this card, because they really like draw power. This gives you that draw power. And by the way, I didn't realize this until today. It's actually recurring. It doesn't have to be on that turn. Just whenever you play 3 cards in the turn. I never knew that. I mean, that makes the card even better.
It's just a lot harder to do on the turns that you don't play Ash, because you don't necessarily have... Because Ash is a 3rd card. You know? But yeah,
we can't really talk about this in the Wind Water, I think. I don't think it's ever replacing the other Ash. But, you know, Wind Earth. Wind Earth plays a lot of cards in one turn. You know, you play a Mew.
Wind Earth really wants this, and is desperate for draw power. Like it's so slow and like I think just bad right now.
Wind Earth is really good at value, but it doesn't actually net any cards from your deck, right?
It has so few EX bursts.
Yeah, so having a draw power is really good in that deck.
And untargetable. 3-drop Rangers I'll play for a good while. And that was untargetable. Like I think that it's going to stick to the board probably like 2 turns, 3 turns maybe.
I will say that when I say this is worse than I thought it was, I originally went into the set thinking this might be a 9 or 10, and now I'm thinking it's probably an 8, maybe a 7.
Yeah.
But
I'm thinking
that's just
an
because
8 with the possibility of being a 9.
I have played some games with it in a deck, and it was just so hard to do. I think it was a Wind Earth deck. There was an Ice Earth deck that we tried an Ice Wind deck, sorry, that we tried, and it was really hard to do a lot of the time. So before I thought maybe you draw 3 cards a game, maybe you draw 2. You know?
The annoying part is if you've already got 5 cards in hand, you just have to discard for 1 end of turn, and there's no chance to respond to that, which is slightly annoying.
All right.
But I mean, it's unlikely you're going to cast 3 cards and have 5 still in hand, but you know.
But yeah, I put it as an 8. But it's pretty boring.
It's not that sick.
It's a very basic ability, right?
The surrounding card might be sick, but it itself might not be.
I like it. It's just a bit basic, yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
And targetability is always good, you know, we've seen how good it is.
Targetability is really solid.
Yeah.
That's kind of getting it for me.
Althea. interesting. Could probably do some cool stuff with it.
It's
Wearing a
FFCC.
pumpkin
Any
necklace.
it is. Any backup that has FFCC is going to inherently be good. So
It's
I can see it.
It's a princess. That's not an irrelevant job. It's pretty
That's
irrelevant.
actually no. That's yeah. It's got
But
a lightning
it's-
forward that
It's
searches
the
out
lightning
now.
forward that plays it that we might get to
Yeah.
later. We might fall asleep before then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might just
Or be
run out-
drunk by then. I'm
might
I'm
just
still
run out of
drinking. This
pints.
is.
I'm halfway through my 4-pack. We're going good.
I'm
I'm
still sipping my insider, so
Nice.
Sip.
Once we get to another 10, you have to down it. That's we'll decide.
oh no.
We'll get halfway through.
Every-
If you've
every-
not finished your drink, you've got to move on to the next one.
So
Anyway.
Althea's a 10 just because I want you all to drink.
That's right.
No. No.
I think
Can't do
this is
it.
probably more memeable than it is good because with bounce the hand and all that's probably
There's-
fairly decent. Like you can do some fun stuff with that. So I'm probably gonna give it more a higher meme score than like power score.
There's gonna be times where you go, right, I'm gonna put this Althea back in my hand, right? And I'm gonna put this Celtheus back in my hand. Not actually Celtheus because that'd be some weird ass deck you've built. But you get the point,
I'll do
right?
it.
And you're like, right,
Is
I'm
that a
gonna play it
challenge?
again. It was, but don't tell them they're supposed to figure it out for themselves. Anyway, you then slam it again and make another guy, and they're like, well, I've probably lost, right? Because just too powerful.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give this like an 8 in meme ability, 9 in meme ability, power 7, 8. It's good. It's good. It's
Si-
FFCC.
It's FFCC, but like, look at all the other FFCC targets you're comparing it to.
Yeah, it's
Is
worse
it-
than Waltro. It's
It's
worse than Waltro in this
no,
sense.
where is it gonna fit? Where does it fit on that type of scale? That's the type of thing you've got to think to yourself,
Yeah,
right?
it's got some interesting combo potentials, but
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
standalone card, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I would run it over the 3-drop Trilinka backup, but I've ran the 3-drop Trilinka backup like in a serious deck multiple times. So it's something I think I would play.
Yeah, but is it more fun than attacking with BFA twice?
Mhm.
I'm just gonna put that out there, right?
Attacking with 6-drop in total.
Oh gosh.
I want to know what you guys think about this next card.
All right.
I'm
All
very
right.
torn.
What is next?
Alexander.
Oh, it's got a searcher on EX. It is an EX.
It's-
EX draw card is always fairly decent.
Yeah.
If it was ever gonna see play in any element, this is the element it's gonna see play in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because there's no other element that's like, right, I'm gonna cast 3 cards a turn, and I'm still gonna cast another one, right?
It's basically your follow-up to Ash, right?
Yeah.
'Cause Ash is 3 and this is 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you draw 3 cards. But
Mhm.
the times where you've got it in hand and you're not set for the Ash turn, it reduces a lot.
Does
Maybe?
playing that card count as the cast 4? So like, say you played
Yes.
3 and then
Yes.
this was your 4th. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah,
it better.
it counts.
Oh,
Yeah,
so Ash is pretty good then as well, I guess.
yeah, Ash counts itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. I like it better now.
Yeah, I think just even then, like, it doesn't matter how many you've cast. Like, it's just EX draw cards, really decent.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. I think I don't know if I'm gonna play it over other win summons because win summons are really good.
I think this is
Yeah,
literally a
you've got
card,
good-
like, if you can fit it in your deck, play it.
Yeah.
You probably won't be able to.
If you've got something that says play a 1-drop summon for free and you're in wind, then yeah, fair enough. This is probably worth it. It's got targets. Yeah, it's good. I think it's probably about a 6, 7. It's approaching playable.
It's borderline. I'd consider it. I might put one in. If it performs well, I'd probably put a second in. But
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily
Yeah,
going
I-
to trust it to perform well out the gate, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think we've got other cool win cards in this set. So when
Anyone
using
else
it,
got
it
anything
doesn't
else to
even-
add to
oh,
that
no,
before
not
we move
this
on?
one. Not this one.
Anything else to add to that before I move on?
I don't think so. It's just kind of
Nah.
there, and it might get played.
It's not sick, and it's fairly just decent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much else to say.
Enkidu.
No,
The old
It's not
fighting
good.
player in me likes this.
but
I had such high hopes for this card after looking at Gilgamesh, and then we got this.
it's not good. But they couldn't have made it good because then Gilgamesh would be a bit too scary. That's the thing.
The S could be
So-
all forwards, man. The S could quite happily be all forwards.
It's kind of like a
Oh yeah,
temporary
so what
character.
does it do
all.
with Gilgamesh? Make
Gilgamesh
my
can
way.
dull to play Enkidu from your deck.
Oh, okay.
It's like a worse 4-drop Onion Knight, and I like that 4-drop Onion because it deals 3,000, but
Mm.
like, yeah,
The
yeah,
thing is,
it's
it
just like a
didn't.
slightly worse one.
It didn't have to be good. It didn't even have. It didn't have to be nuts. It didn't have to be good. It just had to be like okay. But I don't even think I can
I
call
don't think
this
this
card
is-
okay, because I don't think I can happily draw this card in a game and not feel bad. Like the S
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
even
I
enough
really like
payoff
pink
for me to
decks.
put 3 of this in, even if it's free. The S just isn't even enough payoff.
Yeah, it's a worse catcher. I think is with it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy to
Dancer.
move on.
No.
If anyone else had
Right,
anything
the
interesting
first
to say
time I
about
saw
this?
the Dancer, right? Dancer, the next card. The first
Oh,
time I
right.
saw this, I
Oh,
thought,
no, sorry,
what
we've
a
moved on. Sorry, I've
fantastic
got it, yeah.
backup, right? That's what I thought when I first saw this
Yeah.
card. This is a
Yeah.
really cool backup.
Smell backup.
And then it was a forward, and then it says 7,000 power, and then it says dull effect, and I'm like,
I'm looking.
damn.
It said the word forward, and I'm now looking at character.
Yeah. That's not good.
I mean, I like this card. I like character. It's probably not good.
I like the art. It's cool.
Alright. If I can go into a tournament and say, right, I'm going to be facing, I'm going to be playing 8 rounds, and 7 of them are going to be against the first stale or pair. Yeah, I'll play it. I can't say that.
Yeah, it's very situational, alright?
Mm.
But the situations where it comes up
It's
is really good.
situational. It needs to survive as well to do it.
Well, no, no,
And
You
even-
can
it
only
needs to
choose.
survive, and then it's a
If you
combo
want to use that
piece,
kind of K
not-
effect, you have to do it immediately. It's not like you can wait.
Right,
Right?
Mikey, we've moved on, Mikey.
Hmm.
We're on
Oh, are
character.
we? We're in a different card now. Oh, we're in dance. Oh, character. Oh, sorry. I was fixing the good one.
You were like, all right,
don't
well,
like
I'm
it.
trying. I'm trying to make these people sound sensible, talking about Dancer positively. No, Mikey, we've moved on. You're good. You
We're
don't have to
definitely
be
not talking about
positive about
Dancer.
that card.
Yeah, I forgot.
There
how
are many ways you
zero
can
overcard
achieve the
is.
same result as Dancer without having to pay so much.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
forward,
definitely.
man. Why is it a forward? Oh gosh.
Right, so character. I don't like it that much.
It's one of those things where if you could turn around and say that you were gonna hit 10k every time for 1 CP, yeah,
Mm.
it's a monster. I can pick it up with luck. Yeah.
I
But
like the art.
you
It's from
can't,
Crystal
right? 'Cause if I could off 5 backups, go right. I'm gonna play a cactus, kill your thing, play luck, pick my cactus up, play cactus, kill your other thing.
You need to, it's kind of
Next.
you need to make sure that you can hit, because if you could choose when you could use that effect, then it'd be okay, right? Like let's say you can store it and then do 10k.
Yeah, like if you knew what your opponent, if there was a way to know what the top card of your opponent's deck was.
Well, I mean, there might be some cards that
Well,
do that.
there is, but if there was like a good way to do it, that wasn't just the only effect.
You know?
Like say there's a Kadaj that could look at the top card of your opponent's deck.
Yeah, something like that.
I know that's absurdly broken, but like something along those lines.
Yeah,
You're not investing CP, just look at the top card of their deck.
something like I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, something like that, you know. But as it is, it's one for the back burner until something like that potentially appears.
The thing is, it's like the 1-drop win slot is already filled up with the other Kaxor and Leak, so it's like in realm decks you're probably not even going to run this because there's other good 1-drop.
The thing is, right? If you could hit the 4 or more every time, this would almost certainly just get rid of the other 1-cost layout.
Yeah,
the
fair,
other
fair.
1-cost cactar. Because the 1k, we're at a point where the 1k is coming up less and less. That card's coming up less and less. Right, move on. 'cause-
Let's
Yeah.
move on.
I like
yeah,
it.
Well, this is an
Lineage.
interesting one.
Right, here's this 2 CP backup, right? That I can play at a point in the game where I've got 5 Like, you're not casting 3 or more cards this turn when you've not got to 5 backups, right?
Or
am I
maybe one
missing
of the cards
something?
you've already
Mioni
casted is
plays.
returning. Yeah.
Yeah, Mione turns and stuff like when you're setting up. So I think it's good early game, but maybe not the rest of the game. But I have to say, this is another person with a heart staff.
Well, even
No, it's.
I was gonna say that.
even your Mione turns, like
The heart stuff.
you're really only one, like you're not really looking to play your third thing in that turn because you've already spent a lot and you want to actually take the advantage you've got with Mione and keep a hold of it. Whereas playing
Oh
this,
yeah, fair.
if you've got this in your deck, it's only good on the Mione turns. At which point, not only do you have to have Mione, you also have to have this. But then if you don't have Mione and you do have this is awful.
Yeah, and also it's assuming you're in a good situation. If I'm in a situation where I have 3 backups
Oh, yeah.
anyway, I'm not. I think I'm golden at that stage. Do I really want to?
Yeah,
It's one of those win more cards, right?
I'll agree.
I'm happy about
I've seen someone play this, and they were able to pull off a really broken like Mione Bart's White Mage turn, and I'm like,
Yeah, I think it's
wow,
amazing
that's
when
so
it goes
good.
off.
You're
but how
never
many...
going to do that again.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
In
never
100
ever going to do
games,
that
how many
again.
times does that perform? You know?
Yeah, it's
That was the only time it's ever happened. It's the only time it's ever going to happen. I think
it's gonna set.
you're not doing it.
It's pretty memeable, right? It's gonna set some players like that up where it's like this is the only time this has ever happened in the history of Dota.
Yeah.
Right?
You're going to be playing against your pal. You're like, oh, do you want to swap decks? And they're running this, and you're going to
History
pull it
of
off, and you'll be like, yeah,
It'd be like
yeah.
round 2 of like US Nationals on stream, and someone will do something like, "Oh my god, it's the best card I've ever seen." You know,
Hey, Nash.
And then they'll play it themselves, and it will never work.
discard 3 cards, play 3 backups, zid in, turn 1, go in second. Oh my gosh, you just won the game.
Yep.
You know.
And then they lose, and it'd be funny. Yeah.
All right.
I'm happy to move on. There's not really much. Oh no! I just realised what's coming up next.
All right, what do we got next?
We have Shiriki X, Shiriki Y, and Shiriki Z.
I
Yes.
think it's Shikari, isn't it? I don't know how you say it.
It is
Shikari,
Shikari.
Shakira.
Shakira, let me know.
My opinion,
my
opinion of these cards is based almost entirely on the art of the first one, because that guy's shrugging at me, and that's pretty much the only thing I can say about him. Because I do not.
These are the worst cards that I am the
Yeah,
most scared
you
of.
have to.
It's
You
probably
have
the
to
best
rate them together, right? You can't rate one with.
Yeah.
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 I think
these are gonna
if
be
I see my opponent play this, I'm quite scared. Like I'm not thinking, oh yeah, no, they're running a really good deck. I'm just like, they can just bullshit a win out so easily, and I'm not keen for that. So you need to be quite careful around it. The fact that the middle one, the Shakira X, doesn't give itself haste means that it's not bullshit.
Can you
But
imagine
still,
if
it's
it's
like,
tin 1, like
yeah, oh god,
4 points of
that
damage?
would be terrifying.
We have
But
a
like you've got to like they're bad. I'm not gonna rate them super high, but you've got to respect them, and I hate that about them. Like,
We
I
have
really do.
we have a
I think they're really
concept
good.
up here in the north, and it's called the jungle, and it's what happens when you go to a tournament. You've won like a couple of rounds, and then you lose a couple, and you fall into that kind of haze where you're not quite sure what you're going to come up against, because all the people who have called the meta right are still X and O. All the people who've got the meta drastically wrong are all O and X, and you kind of sat there in just this haze of people who've shown up with like really random stuff, and they've got like a win or two here, a win here, a win there. They've lost this, they've got win loss, that type of thing. That's the people That's the people who are playing this. This is a jungle deck.
And they're gonna beat you.
Yeah,
If you don't pay enough attention, they're gonna beat you. It's like that's terrifying.
it's the we call it the jungle, man, because it's hard to get out of. You can get lost.
Like honestly, you go XO and you're happy. Like you go to finals and all that, and you're like, I'm not nearly stressed as someone who is like 40 tables down playing against Shikari.deck.
Who went, round 4 had to beat Shikari, round 5 had to beat Dragoons. That type of thing.
That's terrifying.
It's not where you want to be. And that's where this is going to be. That's where you're going to find this.
Does that make this memeable? Does that mean that this is like these are like 10 when it comes to memeability?
Oh,
Definitely, 100%.
You go turn 1, I'm going to play all 3 of them, draw 2 cards and hit you for 2 points of damage. And I'm going to untap, attack with all 3. You're on, if you've not had the chance to play a blocker down, you're on 6.
I've just hit 6 DX burst. I'm happy. I'm now ready to play.
This is too good.
So like, there's meme there. There's meme that like
No, like
I
the
think-
memes for both players as well. It's good.
there's meme because then like there's a meme where the other person untaps and goes, right, I'm gonna discard 3 cards and play Fina.
It doesn't kill them. It doesn't kill them because they buff each other as well.
No, because the Shiraki's head dies. Oh no, they do buff each other. Shit, I didn't.
Yeah, they all buff each other.
All right, well,
You got
yeah,
a Fina and then Renoa.
Got Fina
You
and
have
then
to
Renoa.
Yori Fina. Yeah.
One thing that I think makes this really good is that when like forming a party and attacking with all of them to deal 3 points damage feels weird. Then you've got to remember like that means all the EX bits happen at once. And you've already dealt with 3
Yeah.
points of damage. I think that's just really good.
Yeah. That's
Like
fair.
you don't
but
run the
then
risk
also,
of like the first EX like fucking up the whole thing 'cause it's happened.
Also,
yeah,
also,
yeah, no, definitely.
it's a party attack. There's a lot of cards in this set that are like, okay, you party attacked. I'll do something cool. I'll do something nice for you.
Yeah, you play these, you power attack for it, and then you play Yuna.
Right, stop. All right, they're not very good. They're not very
They're not
good,
very good,
but they're really sick.
but they're terrifying. But the gods are really scary.
If you find yourself in a
Fun,
jungle,
though. I like the idea of it. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to have X, Y, and Z. You can have Y and Z, X and Y. You get some value, Yeah.
Well, it's
but yeah, it's unlikely you get max value out of these cards.
But you have to play it with Opus rebuts.
also
That's
if you've got Z and Y in play and play X, you've just played freaking pain. You only
that's a
tap
dream,
3
right?
backups and draw a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, no? Alright, let's move on from these 3. Chocobo, it's a backup, it's called Chocobo, you can put it into play a fat Chocobo, that is relevant.
It's the crystal hunt
That
art
is
as
good.
well.
He's also
Yeah, it's a cute card.
I love crystal hunt.
It's the effect is all right, but it doesn't really matter because, as I said, Fat Chocobo Star Sibbles it and then also plays it. Like that's really good.
Like,
That's the big strength of this card, right? You can
Yes.
just instantly
Yeah,
conquer
yeah.
board like that.
like it's
It's-
secondary as that. It's like it'd be a secondary target to. I think it's the next card.
Yeah, it's a Chocolate is probably the better one, but we'll get
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
that when it comes to
I
it.
mean,
We
it's
can't
now,
really
yeah.
talk about this card because this just eclipses that card in many ways.
Yeah, Chocolate.
Anything
Yeah.
that other one does, this does better because it's more relevant text.
But in the same way that when you played Lewis Swar, you wanted an Alphino and an Alisair backup in your deck. When you play, if you're playing Fat Chocobo, you want this and Chocobo
Oh,
in
yeah,
your
yeah.
deck just in case. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
But this card is
I-
actually really good.
Yeah, I agree. Just because of Fat Chocobo.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, yeah, but also the fact that it's in wind, so it's in an element which is going to have the opportunity to sit there and go, all right, well, at the end of your turn, I'm going to dull this active backup that I had sat here because I played 3 cards and it didn't matter because all of them untapped my stuff.
Hmm.
You know?
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, we've been here for 2 hours and we're not even halfway through. This is an issue.
How about right? We get to
I
the
have
end
to
of
play
wind.
tomorrow.
We call it halfway through, right?
And then we start again
we-
tomorrow.
Yeah, you can always call it halfway
Not
through. I think
necessarily
after this
tomorrow.
element you can call it.
Yeah, we can call it and we can go back
Yeah.
and do the other half with some more bevies in
Yeah,
the time, right?
yeah.
That sound good?
Maybe we do the
Yeah.
other half at the end of the set and just go back over how everything has changed so much. We probably got this all wrong.
Well, I think if people like listening to us sit and talk about cards, then we could definitely do what the meta looks like X amount of weeks in or whatever.
I just like-
yeah.
Just
Or
quickly
just deck
scanning
building
through and going,
stuff.
right, this. We could literally just sit here for 5 minutes and go worse, better, worse, better, worse.
Yeah, we could do, but that's not really entertaining.
It's not.
We do, basically,
But if we do
our
it
group
right, it
basically
could
just
be.
deck builds.
Right, but let's get through. Let's get through. We're almost done. So we got Chocolate here.
Okay, so
It's in a good spot. Likes where it is. It's a Chocobo. You can
I
play a
like-
fat Chocobo. That's relevant because playing 2 backups off of 1 card is actually quite nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it
yeah,
draws a
I
card.
like Chocolate. That's good.
You know. All right.
Happy to move on.
This card, there are
Ooh,
some
this is
cool
the first time I've
activators.
seen that art.
There are some cool activators for this card. That you can do very, very powerful things with.
Yeah.
So
I think
being
the-
able to pay 2 and kill something.
It kills for its the end.
Yeah.
It kills Ritz without any setup, which is good.
Mhm.
And it kill and if you have Kadaj,
Yeah, that's
and
the main thing we're
Kadaj,
talking about, right?
that's
Just the
the
Kadaj
big one,
application.
Yeah.
Just makes this
Because
card really good.
being able to turn around and say, right, I'm going to kill your forward, is just really powerful. It's just
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
it cost me 2
I'm gonna
CP and my
kill your
Kadaj
forward.
ability. I'm
Yeah,
happy.
yeah. Oh, I don't RFG some of your summons this turn. Like sad.
Oh,
I killed your forward, so it's okay.
I killed your BFA for 2 CP. You know.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bit, but you do that and you lose your Kadaj as well if you target the
Yeah.
You lose 2 forwards to that.
Mhm.
But that's not too bad. I probably would
That's-
still rather 5-drop Diabolos, like 5-drop or top,
Yeah,
like
5
higher
dropping
cards,
your
especially like
opponent's
that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
there's maybe a Neo X Death then. It's probably a better example. Because
Neo
then
Exit, yeah.
you just second a backup, something like that. Backup you get to replace, etc.
Yeah.
There's
I'm thinking more stuff for like really annoying, like really specific and annoying cards that your deck just might not like. Because if you're playing wind, you're probably playing ping, so things like either of these Stolas,
Yeah.
like being able to snipe them is really, really good.
Aerith.
Aerith is good, yeah, it's a good thing to snipe. Yeah, no, I think it's just the 5-drops probably is definitely still better, but I'm gonna try and find room for like 2 of these, 3 of these if I've got a Kadaj in my deck, or I've got 2 Kadaj in my deck.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I can
good.
respect that.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a good medical card if you're not playing Kadaj, but I think if you're playing Kadaj, you definitely play this.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright.
I'm happy to move on to card number 50.
I'm happy to move on to
This
card number
card
51.
looks really pretty.
It is.
The card looks really pretty, but also it doesn't have any text, so I'm happy to.
What game is FFEX?
Final Fantasy Explorers.
What is that?
It's the Final Fantasy TCG. It's all about how many X's you run in your deck, rather than how good you are. FFEX.
Alright, so a quick go. Final Fantasy Explorers. I believe it's a mobile game.
Ah,
It looks
so
like
it's
mobile
not
now.
actually a game.
No, it's 3DS.
Ah.
It is a job.
So
It
it's
is
basically a mobile game.
a job-based RPG for the 3DS. It's Final Fantasy
There
Explorers.
we go.
Might be good. It might not. I
The
don't know.
more
I'll
you
give it a
know.
go.
I feel like I need to play now.
I mean, the art style's very nice. So yeah, we'll see.
The cards are rubbish.
Pain.
It's not as good as the other one. I'm not
This
going
is
to run it.
the first time I've even seen this card. What even is this?
It's
It's
not
bad.
bad. Like it's a good effect, but I'm never going to run it because if I'm running Final Fantasy X backups,
Yeah.
I'm running them to search out the 3-drop starter pain.
It's like Snow in that it's a card for titles. Is this?
Yeah. But I don't like the title, and it's not an official format, so well, it is.
This
You know what I mean?
card-
Like, I'm not getting a world spot for it. in
This
Europe
card
anyway, so.
really impressed me playing. I thought it was alright, but it's felt actually really strong. Cause
I like it. In Bokor, just a
I definitely wanna
good
try
combo. You
it.
need to draw the 2 of them together, but it's good.
Well,
It's good.
necessary, because if you can have Bart's out for a turn, then you can put the Boko in play as well. Off of it.
And there's loads of ways to search the book.
Yeah, it's a chocobo, it's 1 cost, we've got... It's just... Bart's is really powerful. And you can put stuff like Susie Hina into play. You can put like Leo into play and hit them for 10k just with haste. You can do a lot of cool stuff. And the card itself, when you've got Boko out, it's a 9k with haste. You are party attacking, so it's probably big enough anyway. But it's just really powerful.
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. It's not that sick. It's just kind of. It can be. Some of the 1-drops you can like. I think.
Yeah, that's it.
you're
The
playing
Sid
Shadow
Previa that
Rip.
gives this haste, right? That could kind of work with it as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that card a lot. Sid Previa is really good. Which we'll get onto maybe in the next episode of this because it's getting late.
Yeah.
It's getting quite late.
I mean, these are the last 2 cards anyway, right? So.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh
And
yeah,
Boko,
yeah.
Bart's is
Everything
good.
we said about Van.
Boko is
Bart's already released
honestly-
a
Well, actually, you can play this in mono win, not play, and just give the 5 mana bot haste.
Yep. 10k haste, just get it.
Totally legit.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, legit.
Party's
You
drawing.
played
That's not bad at all. That's,
Then you play
that's- yeah.
this. Then you play Varta with the last 4.
I was giving
Then you
Mike.
do more things.
I was giving Mikey aneurysms earlier with Bart's Boker.
Yeah.
it
Well, thank you.
was a
Right,
good
no,
time.
right. Tush, because you're right. Because if you play Fat Chocobo and Mono wins, just so you can ramp up like backups or whatever very very quickly, you just run one of these as well, and it can give you a 5-drop thingy haste, but it can just also be a Fat Chocobo target. Worst case scenario, it's not too bad.
It's a chocobo that you
I'm
can,
not a Mono player, but
you can also buff it off the Thatcher. That's if you want to play the Fat Chocobo engine. You may not. You may. I don't know. I've had fun with it, but
as
it
long
might
as you
not
don't
be
run
something
the
you do.
Chocomog summon, you're fine. Don't run that, guys. Please stop kidding yourselves.
But it gets me the chocobo that taps for. It
I
gets
know
me
it does, but cards do that, but also enter the field.
It gets me the Moogle that taps for Earth too.
It's fine. It's all fine. I'm okay. Do you know how many times I've heard Chocomog in different group chats, and I'm like, no. Cease and desist.
All for a Boko? No, come on.
I mean, if you're playing Chocomog, you're
Oh.
not getting Boko. Let's be real here.
Yeah, let's be real.
But
Yeah.
honestly, right, it's a lot of fun. Mostly because of bots. Like the interaction between the two is most of what makes the cards good. But they're both strong. They're both relatively strong on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
All right.
And then Moogle Crystal Hunt.
More Crystal Hunt cards. I love
I
that
kind of
game.
prefer the 4-drop Moogle, but it's a
Yeah, it's
decent
not
EX.
good.
Of course. Like, the one that draws a card and leaves dies.
It's situational, but it's very likely it can
Does
happen.
the EX based only happen on damage 3?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 1-drop 7k is not that bad, but in wind that's not that relevant
Yeah.
because of lots of cards like
It's
that
just so
already.
much better.
You've got 0 cost 9ks in wind, so.
Like the problem this card has is you've just got Ash that you kind of want to put in that slot of your okay, it's my guy that might draw me a card,
Yeah.
And this is
It's
kind
an
of
EX
just
burst,
like,
but it's not an EX burst you get when you get aggroed in your first turn or two, and that's when you want to be hitting EX burst to draw cards, really.
it's,
Like, you really
I
get
don't
what you
know.
want to anyway.
I feel like the EX burst coming before the damage 3 text as opposed would have made it a hell of a lot better. Because just being able to hit with the EX
Yeah.
burst anyway, it'd have probably been like, okay, I can probably play this.
Yeah.
Because even though I'm not going to
Yeah,
play
big
it before I hit damage 3, if it goes to damage, it's still going to draw me the card. And that's like really, really very different. Alright, I believe that is it for wind cards. First half.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we've done the first half. So we were planning on doing all of this. And then, you'll see how long this video
guys
is, and you'll
talk
decide
lots.
I'm not going to listen to all this.
And then conversation.
We do
happened,
talk a lot.
Alcohol happened.
Would you rather we all just said numbers and moved along? Probably, but don't answer. Yeah, don't answer that.
It's fine. What we'll do next time, right, is we'll just take out all the comments.
Whoa.
No.
That was a comment.
No. The legends are all the things that don't matter in these sets. The
You know
commons
what, that's
rares
true.
are like
I can get
broken.
behind that.
Oh,
I can
Tenzin
get
is
behind
Tenzin is literally less interesting than all the commons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than the ones that are called samurai.
Samurai.
Well,
Okay.
so we're gonna call that one there, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will be back to do this eventually, and we'll finish off the
Eventually.
set. And
At some point.
if you guys, at some point, if you guys are interested in hearing more of us sort of blather on about, heart staffs and how rubbish Neo Exif is. We didn't get to talk about how bad Neo Exif is. I just lied in the intro. It's bad, but it's fine.
No. It's not. It wasn't a lie. It's bait. Because now they've got to come back to
It's-
the next
Now they're
one
coming for the part 2, right?
just to hear
So we can
how,
finally
Yeah,
disclose
okay,
why
yeah,
it's bad.
yeah, see just how
Yeah,
bad Neo
join
is,
it.
man.
Join us for part 2, where we're going to tell you how bad Neo Exif is. We're going to tell you how bad you are at deck building, and we're probably going to sacrifice Graeme. And that's, all things to come back to. Right. Well, thank you very much, guys, for listening. Please join us again next time. If you are interested in hearing more of this, you can drop us a subscribe or a like, and just comment below. The usual YouTuber spiel. I've been Michael.
Hello.
Tush?
Also
My name
been
is-
Michael.
Yeah, yeah.
I am from Wales.
I've been Michael. Absolute silence.
We just wanted to make you feel awkward, man. That's all it was about.
End it at that. End it at that.
You have been my
Sick.